ETV Sports presents Eagan Wildcat Football. Tonight, the Wildcats take on the Rosemount Irish.
Wildcat country on a sultry fall evening. It's the Rosemount Irish against the Eagan Wildcats. As we get rolling tonight, let's get things started with our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
We said we welcome you inside Wildcat Country Week 3, Class 6A football on the air on ETV, and a special welcome to those of you watching us on the World Wide Web, wherever you are. My name is Mike Cook. He is Ken Merwin. And Ken, we got a couple of teams that are 0-2 coming into this game. For Rosemount, it's 0-2, but they've lost by a combined 4 points. For the Cats, they lost big to Minnetonka week 1, played better last week against South, and they're looking to continue to build.
You know, we had a chance, Mike, to talk to both coaches before the game, and I think the Rosemount coach, they feel that they've just missed here and there, while the Eagan Wildcats, their squad, they're getting better every week. We're looking forward to a great game tonight.
As you look at the Eagan Wildcats wearing the home grays this year, you're going to notice a lot of pink inside Wildcat Country this evening. It is a pink out game, tackle cancer game here tonight with the Wildcats and the Rosemount Irish. Few pink colors trickled in with the band who's here firing things up. We are going to have ourselves a whale of a crowd tonight, judging by what's in here already and what's still coming.
It's perfect football weather. We've got EAA football. The youth athletes are on the field at halftime. A cheerleading clinic, pink out, a great showing of fan support from the Rosemount Irish. It's going to be a great night, Mike.
And of course, we got the Friday Night Lights festivities going on. Can't say that twice. But yeah, a lot of vendors here, people enjoying. Some local vendors are out here selling their food and their beverage. And yeah, as we said, it's going to be hopping tonight here. And checking the weather right now, it's about 82 degrees. Dew point is in the mid-60s right now here for mid-September. A little different than a week ago when Lakeville South was here and it was, 70-ish?
It dropped off really much at the end of the game there. We may need sweatbands tonight. It's kind of sticky out here.
As we said, the Rosemount Irish, they are 0-2. They lost to Wayzata in week 1 up at Wayzata. We're home last week, lost in overtime to Edina. That was after the Irish rallied with 2 fourth-quarter scores to force the extra session. And the Wildcats are going to get the ball to start things off tonight. Imagine we have Tate Sundberg back for the Wildcats. And I believe Carter Lyons back there as well. The Rosemount kicker has the ball in hand. That would be number 45, Nathan Whiting. He's a 5'11 sophomore. He'll be kicking off right to left across your screen. Slight breeze maybe from the Rosemount side to the Eagan side. A little bit of a crosswind. The pit, their arms are up in the air. Whiting's ready to kick it away. Everybody's set. We're waiting for the words from the official. And here we go. Rosemount at Eagan. We are underway. And Eagan's going to start at their own 20-yard line as that ball well into the end zone.
That was a nice kick, Mike.
So the Wildcats, we said they were played a good first half a week ago against Lakeville South, 14-all at the break. And then things kind of fell apart there in the third. Got a little gassed. came back, played decent in the fourth, got one to make it close.
I think that's the key. We talked about numbers all season so far, and when you are down in numbers just a bit, that second half can be an awful long 24 minutes. It seems like 48 minutes.
Yeah, you talk about the numbers, and Coach Hansen telling us before the game, he said even more kids wanting to sign up for football now, and I think we're up to, I believe he said 113 at the high school level at the different grades, which is about 20 more than when they had 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
So Caden Hansen will be the Eagan quarterback once again tonight. He's going to throw near side on first down. Sundberg is a receiver out near the 25-yard line, and he's taken out of bounds by number 8 for Rosemount. That's Jackson Hahn, a senior. Take that back. That was number 12, the Eagan tight end with the reception. That's Cam LaChance. Obviously, first catch of the night for LaChance. Get him pick up. We're going to give him 6 on that one officially. So second down and 4 for the Eagan Wildcats. Hansen all along the backfield. He's going to look left. Will he throw it? He does. Far side. Got his man, and he's upended nicely by a couple of Rosemount players in there to finish him off for the Irish. That was number 7, Nick Magnuson, up from his secondary position.
Eagan going to the air on the first 2 plays of this game, Mike.
Was that LaChance with that catch again? I
think it was.
Did not catch the number. Gain of 2 on that play, they're going to say. So 3rd and 2 for the Cats. Just underway for those of you just tuning in as LaChance goes in motion for the Cats. Lions should be in the backfield, and he'll get the football. Can he get to the first down? Not going to happen. Rosemount all over that play. In their first man up again, that was number 8, Jackson Hahn, his second stop of the game. And it looks like it's going to be 4th and less than a yard for the Wildcats. Cats look like they are lining up to go for it, which they did back at Minnetonka in week 1. That was up at about their own 40.
Well, it's gutsy plays like this that can set the tone early. We'll see what the Wildcats do here.
Hansen lining up. Got to get to the stripe on the 30. Hansen barking out. He's going to hand off straight ahead. Can he get there? Powers of force.
Oh, boy.
And they're off to more out near the 50-yard line. Great run by the Eagan back. That was Lions that time for the Wildcats. Pickup of 19. Actually, they're going to say 20 yards on that run for Lions. First down at the 49-yard line.
Boy, decision time early in this one, Mike, as Eagan goes for it and gets that 6 inches and then some.
Nice job. He busted through that tackle. Hahn got about an extra 12 or 14 yards on that one. Near side, LaChance on the reception. He'll cross midfield, and he'll get up ended about the 47-yard line. On the stop for the Irish is Keenan Wenzel, senior defensive back. So LaChance been busy here this drive.
He has been. He seems to be the primary right now, and they're moving the football, which is great.
5 on that one, and we're into Rosemount territory here, just 2 minutes into this one. Chance he will head back into motion. Again, Hansen. Will he hand it off? He does. Lions across the 45, nearly across the 40. Finally tripped up there. Looked like number 20 in for Rosemount. Kofi Owusu with the stop for the Irish, but you know what? The chains are moving. It's first down, Cats.
Cats come to the line quickly. You know, the backs on the 2 carries that we saw, the big gainer on the 4th down on that last one, they're taking on the tacklers. They're getting extra yards for their effort.
And one thing Coach Hansen talked to us about was the offensive line, how they played a lot better last week at times. And McClenty, he's going to get maybe 1 that time.
24 carries.
59 on the stop for the Irish.
Combining on
Nathan
the tackle
Putman.
for the Irish.
McClenty, he had a score a week ago for the Eagan Wildcats. We'll say nothing on that game. Make it 2nd and 10. Long 9, short 10. Either way, it's 2nd and long for the Cats as Hansen stands alone in the backfield. He'll roll near side. He'll fire. And couldn't tell him for his intended target. I think that was Sundberg. Might have been a little miscommunication there. Sundberg cut it up.
I think that was a little bit of a miscommunication, like you said, Mike. We had 2 guys that were both kind of open, but nobody was looking for the ball.
Yeah, Jackson, you saw number 18, looked like he was running more of a fly pattern. So 3rd and 9 upcoming for the Cats. Drew Aldridge centering the ball for Eagan. 3rd and long. McClenty lone back. And Hansen going to air it out across the middle.
Oh, there should be a flag on that one.
There is not, as the Eagan player, Sundberg thought he was interfered with.
Well, he was running that crossing route, and he was definitely upended. I don't know if we'll see it on a replay or not. Probably not, but incidental contact. 4th and 10 for the Cats. They went for it on less than a foot. Let's see what they got here.
Surprisingly enough, that Eagan bench, not happy with the no call.
No, it does not surprise me at all. And, Sundberg was very active last week, Mike, and we'll see if he gets into the scheme tonight sooner than later.
So 4th, and they're going to say, like I said, a long 9, short 10. Need to get almost to the 30. Here comes McClinty. He's coming near side. Hansen, deep drop, trying to set up the bubble screen. Read well by the Irish, and that's going to be negative yardage for the Eagan Wildcats, and then some, depending when they finally blow the whistle.
We'll see where they spot it. Looks like they got to spot it about the 48 of the Irish.
Yeah, you can try to set that one up, and that was a chance on the reception once again. Bottom line is nowhere near where he needed to get to, and they're going to actually say Egan's going to lose 8 on that play. So Rosemount's going to take over great field position at their own 49-yard line. Just over 3 minutes gone by in this one.
Nice little drive by the Cats in that first go-around. We'll see if the defense can step up here.
Max Carter, the signal caller for the Rosemount Irish. He wears number 2 there on your screen. 6'1" junior. Thrown for over almost 450 yards so far this year as Rosemount's been trying to get a running game established. And Quanta is going to make the stop after a minimal gain out there by Garrison Green of the Irish. About a 4-yard pickup for Rosemount there on first down.
It's probably important that as Rosemount tries to get that running game off and going, that the defense can step up. They're going to be tired in that second half, so now's the time to really try to ground that ground game. 5
yards on that play for the Irish, they're going to say once they spot it. Rosemount had 7 total rushing yards last week against Edina. And on the keep, Carter, will he pitch it? A little stiff arm, gets across the 45, maybe picks up a couple. McCullum on the stop for the Wildcats.
Brings up third down.
So it's going to be 3rd and about 3 for the Irish. We were talking to Jeff Erdman before the game, the Rosemount coach, and we said, Jeff, you guys have got 450 yards in the air and like 150 rushing. That's not your style.
Right.
And he said they got to get the running game going. It's pretty much been out of necessity. Carter hands it off. This is man. And Quanta meets him after a gain of maybe half a yard, if that. Jonathan Mann, he's only a sophomore, wears number 1 for the Irish. But Quanta was right there for the Cats. So it's going to be 4th and 3. Irish not going to punt this one away. They're going to go for it as well. Here comes Mann in motion. From the sideline is Carter. He'll step back. Is maybe going to pooch kick it? Bad snap, and he does get it off. And a flag on the play. Kick only got down about the 34-yard line, so it's 10 yards on the punt. But let's see what the hanky's all about.
Yeah, let's see what that hanky's about.
Let's hope the Cats didn't jump, because that would be 5 and likely a moving of the chains for Rosemount. Although the Rosemount defense is coming on to the field. Let's see what our officials have to say. Just under 5 minutes gone by. Each team got at least a first down. Cats got a couple on their opening drive. Rosemount got 1.
All right.
Yep. Penalty is going to be on Rosemount, judging by the jumping Cats. They're happy. Here's our
unsportsmanlike conduct on the return team. 15 yards from the end of the run. Eagan keeps the ball. First down.
Well, there you go, unsportsmanlike on the Cats. So they're going to start back at their own 22-yard line.
Still not terrible field position, Mike, but I don't know that I saw anything. It might have been something that someone said. Here's your replay.
I thought on the bottom of your screen, the Eagan guy might have pushed the Rosemount guy into the ball. Yeah, there, maybe kind of pushed him in the back. I'm not sure if that's what the call was. Bottom line, Cats have the ball for the second series tonight. Hansen and Lyons in the backfield. The chance switches from left to right from the tight end spot. They're going to throw left side. That ball nearly picked. Far side, dangerous throw. Tower the intended target, but hustling in was Evan Getwitz for the Irish.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass. You think pick 6 whenever you see those bullets out into the flat, those bubble screens even, but worked out all right.
Remember that play last week when South, their kid basically had it in his hands.
Yeah.
He hangs on. He could have walked in, but he didn't hang on. 2nd and 10, Hansen. They're going to throw under that far side once again. Got his man, first down, Cats out across the 40, 45, near 50, and still going strong to the Rosemount 49-yard line. That is LaChance, the tight end once again. 28 yards on the pickup. Boy, that pass was floated just nicely.
A real timing pass, and he beat his man, hauled it in with his hands. Probably plays basketball from the looks of it.
Here comes Hansen. He's going to come near side this time. He's going to go deep. Got his man Jackson. Oh, couldn't quite hang on. He had gotten behind his defender.
You know, the Eagan Wildcats are showing a real balanced attack tonight. They're putting it on the ground, really tough running up front, and they're also airing it out, and not little short passes. They're sending guys downfield.
2nd and 10 upcoming. 24, Colt Kramer tried to get back for Rosemount, but it might have been a little miscommunication in the Rosemount secondary with Jackson that wide open. From midfield, just over 5 minutes gone by here, opening quarter. Here comes Lyons. Can he cut it up? He does, and he'll fall forward to about the 44, give him maybe 6 on that carry. Sets up a 3rd and much more manageable, 4 to go. Eagan again. Not huddling. Has Eagan huddled at all this year?
They certainly haven't huddled tonight. It's not a bad strategy.
Lions wrapped up by a number of Rosemount Irish players. And it's going to be 4th down. Number 55 was first man in there for the Rosemount Irish, Josiah Scarr. Magnuson finished him off. And this one seems like a little more traditional. The Cats looking to punt this one, I believe.
Kind of a wholesale personnel change, and with one guy deep, it does look punt.
Back deep for the Irish, standing at about his own 14-yard line is, and that's not good. Here goes Rosemount. Can he go to the house on a 40-yard return? Cuts it inside. Looks for a blocker, didn't quite get it, but nonetheless, down to the Eagan 10. Colin Pomeroy, number 9, rumble and stumble, and he went about 30.
Big plays, Mike. Big plays are what can turn games. Now, they haven't scored yet, of course, but they sure have 1st and goal from about the 4.5.
This who got in there for Rosemount. This looks like 28 with the block for the Irish. Wenzel. Rosemount, they're going to spot the ball actually at the Wildcat 4. 36 yards on the return, or fumble, block, punt return, whatever you want to call it. Irish are going to get the first points of the board on the board tonight. Carter under center. Palmer goes in motion. Straight ahead, Green. Can he get there? His legs are turning. The officials say he is just shy.
Green, number 27.
Needed 4, got about 3.5. You can see the distance there.
It's
What
not
size
much.
shoes that official wear? That's how far they've got to go.
Second and goal for the Irish at the 1-yard line.
Tight formation for the Irish. Green is the deep back. On count, give it to Green. Cuts it in, untouched. Touchdown, Rosemount. That was too easy for the Irish.
Well, they started awfully in a really good spot. The defense now needs to come back and set the tone. Special teams thus far has been a little bit of a problem for the Wildcats, and big plays have not been very kind to us as well. So
That's
we'll see what
35,
happens.
Brady Kubitz. He led the way there. Waiting for the PAT for the Irish. Down, up, kick is good. What a leg. And he's accurate as well. 7-0 Rosemount. 4:53 to go in the opening quarter.
You know, it's really unfortunate that punt went as badly as it did. They're moving the ball, and you're going to kick the ball away every now and again. Of course, they didn't have to on 4th and inches. They opted to kick it away on 4th and 6, and it was blocked.
So the Cats says, as we said, it is a pink out here tonight. They're, can we say, pretty in pink in the pit?
They wouldn't mind, I don't think. They look awful pretty down there and warm.
You and I know what this is, but how many of these kids even know the movie Pretty in Pink?
I don't think many of them. It's kind of a classic.
They were not even born, I'm sure, when that Molly Ringwald movie came out back in, gosh, that had to be what, mid-'80s?
I would say mid-'80s. We're dating ourselves, but we do know the movie.
What was that, the John Hughes? John Hughes, was he the big director of all that?
I think
Those
so.
kids ones that was so huge? Trust us, I'm sure it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I was going to say Netflix it or something like that.
One of those USA Up All Night kind of things.
Right on.
They still do that at all?
Yeah, you catch a little Pretty in Pink, you catch a little Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah.
They made movies about those days, high school days, because high school days are the greatest.
These kids don't want to know about Breakfast Club because wasn't that a bunch of kids with Saturday morning detention?
Detention. That doesn't happen anymore, does it?
Detention or Saturday morning detention?
Both, I suppose.
Yeah. Hey, we should mention, let's look around some other action going on tonight. We'll try to keep you updated on scores, but Burnsville at Lakeville South. Tyler Krebs, who Cougars got their first win of the year here last year facing his old squad. Lakeville North just moving a little down Highway 50. They're at Farmington tonight. Shakopee, who unfortunately dealing with the loss of that student who died in a rollover here the other day. They are at Eastview tonight, and Apple Valley is at Bloomington Jefferson in Class 5A action. Last home game for a while for the Cats, darn near a month. They are on the road for the next 3 weeks. Shakopee, Farmington, Prior Lake will be the destinations. And then the much-hated Wayzata Trojans come here for homecoming on October the 13th.
That's a long and kind of unusual road stretch, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah. And much-hated, when was the last time we played Wayzata? It's been a while. Cats, this one's going to be returnable from the 6. Sundberg is going to get out near the 20, but not going to get all the way to it. Good coverage downfield by the Rosemount Irish. So Eagan's going to start at their own. Let's see where they actually spot that. Actually, it's going to be at the. They're going to give him the 20. Favorable spot by the officials, shall we say. So let's see if the Cats can come out and get something going here. They did a 3-and-out on their last series. Now they did get the long first down on that long pass, but 2 first downs on the first drive. That ended up just in Rosemount territory. Got into Rosemount territory again last drive, but couldn't get anywhere close to the end zone. Hanson's going to throw it. Good coverage over on the far side by the Irish. Rosemount seems to think they have the football. Yeah, they do. Coming up on the bottom of that pile, trying to get that number. Looks like Pomeroy with the fumble recovery.
Well, he was met right away when he made that catch, and it was a good hit. Out came the ball.
Let's take a look. I think you got to wrestle it away from him. It wasn't that one, but incoming here. 28 with the pop. Yeah, and it's Pomeroy. Boy, big first quarter for Pomeroy. Had the special teams. Got him down to the 4 off the block punt. Now gets a fumble recovery. And it's Rosemount on the Eagan 23-yard line with 4:35 to go. Opening quarter here on ETV and on the World Wide Web. Running play for the Irish. And that's going to maybe get back to the sticks. Emphasis on maybe. Like they will call him in there for Eagan. I believe was that Magnuson, I believe, the ball carrier that time?
I think it
7.
was. Yep.
Nothing on no yards on that one. They're going to say. You saw the Rosemount student section in the background. They are here in force tonight. They're wearing black T-shirts. Some kind of a blackout apparently. Carter on 2nd and long for the Irish. They changed the play at the line. He's got Mann out to the right. Mann had a couple of long scores in that game at Wayzata. Give it to Green. He'll burst through the line. McCollum finally takes him down inside the 15, down to about the 12. Is it going to be enough to move the sticks? Let's take a look. It looks like it's going to be 3rd and maybe 1 for the Irish.
Well, they're trying to get that ground game going, and it's easy to do when you're in the shadow of your opponent's goalposts.
I think we can safely say 4-down territory for the Irish.
I would agree.
Pitch, far side, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, on touchdown Irish. Marvin Walker, 14 yards to the house. That's his first score of the year for Marvin Walker, the junior running back. Just a nice red, just played perfectly by the Irish. Good downfield blocking by Mann, even though Walker ran into his own guy.
It didn't look like he was going to be denied there.
Whiting in for the PAT to make this a 14-0 game, Rosemount. And my, how the times have changed quickly. Low snap, got it down, kick is up. Kick is good, there we go. Officials very delayed on their call.
It looked like it was right down the middle, too. I'm not sure what they were watching.
So in a matter of, those 2 touchdowns come a minute and 40 apart. And just like that, it's Rosemount 14, the Eagan Wildcats nothing.
Well, this Eagan team is not unaccustomed to playing from behind. So a young program, one good solid year into Coach Hansen's reign, they need to come back and respond. They don't have to go down and score, Mike. They don't have to go down and they have to move the football and stay positive on this possession.
Speaking of Coach Hansen, you saw him there a moment ago looking a little frustrated. Well, there was a penalty, I think, on Eagan after the PAT. I did not see the call. I saw the official pointing against Eagan. You saw Hansen's reaction. But let's see, the Eagans got their front guys up at the 50, which would be normal.
He looks like he wants
now
to
they're moving him back.
Now.
Yep. Official says, okay, boys, you got to move it back. I'm going to guess that's probably in the area of an unsportsmanlike.
Well, then that's 2 unsportsmanlike and then a no call. Coach Hansen's not going to be buying a round of Gatorade for these officials tonight after the game.
Quick score update, Apple Valley 14-0 over Jefferson right now. Here it's also 14-0 with the Rosemount Irish leading against the Eagan Wildcats. Now if you're Rosemount, do you just put this in the end zone? Or do you just potential thing onside kick?
Well,
if you onside kick
not
it,
real deep.
Even if you onside kick and Eagan gets it, they're going to be at their own 32, 34. Timeout taken by the Wildcats. Coach Hansen might be thinking the same thing.
I think we might be.
As the band is trying to fire everybody up here in Wildcat country on the home side. Coach Ben Hansen looking to get his first W with the program. Unfortunately, he had to struggle through an 0-9 campaign a year ago. That we said last week, that was just an ugly season. Possibly maybe the ugliest season in Eagan history.
He came in late, and he got his coaching staff assembled late. There is the pink out.
Yeah, and the pink out again, and then 0-2 this year. So Coach Hansen, and we've known him for a while. Super nice guy. And a guy like that, you want to see him get a win.
The players are buying into his philosophy, and like he said before the game, Mike, they're building every week. Now you get these setbacks and these big point swings. 14 points scored in a minute and a half. These are not easily overcome, obstacles, but they'll persevere. We're going to get the ball to. They're going to be on the 20. He's thinking maybe there'll be an onside kick. They're kind of game planning for that possibility. Move the football, Wildcats, on this possession, and really it's kind of a push as far as giving up a couple of kind of sketchy scores, the block punt and and that second one, which was just kind of just grinder down.
And the Cats are definitely thinking onside kick. Sundberg is standing back basically about his own 2. You see him on your right side of your screen. Otherwise, there's 10 Wildcats within about 10 yards of the zone where the ball must go the 10 yards. Whiting's setting up like it's an onside kick. But off of his leg, he might be able to take one step and put it in the end zone. Pooch kick, not a bad call. And Cats are going to get it deep in their own territory. Got to hang on to the ball. And Egan's going to start, back at about their 11-yard line. Things just not going well because Cole Kramer in there for the Rosemount Irish.
Well, they got to stick to the game plan, which is a balanced attack. Move the sticks, move the sticks, move the sticks.
Actually, they're going to spot the ball at the Wildcat 13-yard line with 3:13 to go in quarter number 1. Rosemount's 0-2, but we were talking to Coach Erdman before the game. They're still Rosemount. There's still that aura, that mystique, whatever you want to call it, that they're still the Rosemount Irish. And that's, they've been a perennial power at 6A for, how long now? And we know these are, teenagers. They know who they're playing. They know the tradition. Hansen going to air it out deep. And that looks like that's got pick all over, and it does. Interception. Here come the Irish the other way. Number 4 is going to be upended after the interception with the pick. Evan Geiwitz for the Rosemount Irish. And this is, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, it started off real promising, kind of blow for blow, toe-to-toe, first downs. We're going for it on fourth down. You're going for it on fourth down. Then the block punt, the fumble, and now a pick.
So Rosemount on the Eagan 41-yard line. Look at that. He hit him in stride.
There's that. And the defense now needs to set the tone. They're behind. The offense is kind of sputtering. Come on, D.
There's the Rosemount student section. They've got plenty to cheer about thus far, as this game has quickly turned Irish way. Going to throw at Carter. He's going to go trying to find his man down this far side. And a little feet tangled up down at the 5. Nothing happened in that time. Good coverage back there by the Wildcats. Trying to see who that was back there.
Yeah, nice play action. And it looks like they want to put more points up, Mike.
Well, Rosemount has gotten, I think they had a 63-yarder last week against Edina through the air, a 76 and an 80 at Wayzata.
Well, they haven't had much of a ground game. They're getting it done on the ground tonight.
And because of that ground game, they're able to do stuff like that. There goes Green. He loses the football, got it back. No, he doesn't. Eagan has it.
I think Eagan picked it up, Mike.
I thought he got on top, but the Wildcats get the turnover. Big break for the Eagan Wildcats, and that's McCullum with the recovery.
You know, we talked earlier about the philosophy, and the players are buying into it. You got to stay in this game. You got to keep your head up. You never know when the ball's going to be on the grass right in front of you. If you're not paying attention, if you're checking out, the Irish could have easily gotten away with that. Eagan football, let's move it.
And I stand corrected, it was Schultz with the recovery for the Wildcats. It was 3, not 8. So 2:45 to go in the quarter. Eagan gets the ball back. Hansen looking at the sideline for the signal. He's got 4 receivers to work with, 2 on each side. Long count. Give it to Lyons. And he'll maybe get to the 45, get to the 40. Might gain 1. You know, the stop for the Irish. Cam Work.
Kind of popped through that first hole, started to go east and west, and you don't gain much when you go east and west.
2:22 to go first quarter on the clock. 14-0 Irish. 2 scores, a minute and 40 apart. Hansen, Lyons, no, that's McClenty outside. He'll get near the 45. He's taken down there. Sets up 3rd and about 4 for the Eagan Wildcats. Pomeroy among those in there for the Rosemount Irish. I like McClenty the way he's been running.
He's a tough runner. He's running downhill. He's a big, strong kid.
Actually, 9. It's going to make it 3rd and about 4. They're going to give him 5 on that one. Cats need to get a first down, get this drive going, keep some momentum on their home side. Get this big crowd back into it here on the home side. The chance moves to the right wing. Hansen, line, no chance. McClenty ran into, well, I'd say about half the Rosemount defense right there.
You know, you get back to the line of scrimmage near midfield, you can say, you know what, let's give this some thought. You lose 4 or 5 yards. Looking at 4th and 7, you pretty much have to kick it.
Isaiah Orapiza, the junior, number 58, in on the stop for the Irish, as that play lost at least 2.
Yeah.
Punt formation for the Cats. Last one was blocked, and the whistles all over the place.
Yeah, there's timeout Irish.
That's what I thought. Kept looking at the man with the white hat. Now he officially calls timeout.
One Irish player said, "This is a dream. I'm gonna block this kick."
Yeah, that was Nick Magnuson thinking, yeah, this is way too easy. But
we don't need to practice this anymore, Coach. Look at this.
So we're inside a minute to go here in a quarter that safely can say has gone the Rosemount way here on a pink out tonight in Wildcat Country. Again, the big tackle cancer game, raising money for cancer research, and I believe it's the Randy Shaver Cancer Research Fund, hopefully I'm saying that correctly.
I believe
and you
so.
see the stands, they're packed. So we said this is a huge crowd tonight for Eagan football. It's, as you said, it's EAA night, so there's a lot of, 2nd, 3rd, up to 8th graders running around here with their EAA jerseys on. Of course, their parents are all here.
Sure.
The band is here. The pit is, I would say, at least double what it was a week ago against South.
Strong pit presence.
They had a big pep fest today here at Eagan High School. Honored the lacrosse team from last year, the state champions. So there's plenty of momentum coming in. This is Grunkley back to kick for the Cats. Short punt, and it's going to be out of bounds at about the Rosemount 31-yard line. Maybe the 30, they're going to spot it officially. You know, that's going to be a 27-yard punt. Rosemount take over at their own 30.
All things considered, the block punt, the fumble, it's been all Rosemount on a couple of plays. You take a couple of them plays out, and it's only 14-0. What we need is a stand here, and we keep saying that. The momentum can swing one way or another. The door has been opened for the Irish, but they have not kicked it off the hinges quite yet.
Absolutely. 3 receivers set, make it 4, and we got a penalty. We're going to have a delay of game on the Irish. Illegal substitution.
12 on the field. There's something going on here.
Yep. Yeah, you saw number 7, Magnuson, trying to sprint off in time.
He was digging, but he did not have 4-second speed.
No, it was pretty blatant when you see one guy in white hustling away like that. So make it 1st and 15 this time for the Irish. We're in the final minute of the opening quarter. Coming in motion, and they're going to go with Green on the counter. He's going to get some yards, lots of yardage, and he's going to get out midfield and more, down to almost the Irish 46-yard line.
So the Cats will get flagged for tackle out of bounds. So you get this big play on the counter. Great play, well executed. The defense followed the keys the wrong direction, but you add 15 when he tackled him out of bounds.
22 yards on that scamper. There's the penalty. So Cats just shooting themselves in the foot here. Such a good start. That opening drive got a couple of quick first downs.
Number 8 of the defense, 15 yards added to the end of the run. First down.
It was McCollum, the guilty party.
Well, you bring up a valid point. The Irish they're running great plays. They're connecting. They're making their assignments. But you know, if you want to focus in on what's truly been going on here, the team in the gray has had a little something to do with the turn of events thus far.
Well, and Rosemount up front, they've got some really big boys. Jacob Smith, he's a 6'5", 305-pound senior, number 73. Verbal commit to BYU right now.
Yeah, you're not going to wear him down anytime soon.
You know, and Sam Wilmot, 6'3", 240 on that line as well. Carter Ram coming near side, fires it, and that's going to be a souvenir somewhere near the Wildcat band. Good job by the Eagan defense to spread them out, and there's the chance among those for the Wildcats. I look at a guy like LaChance. I think he's got 4 receptions maybe here in this opening quarter, but he's going both ways.
He's getting it done on both sides of the football, and you know, kudos to him for being able to do it. You got a great athlete. You want to put him to use on both sides, but it could take its toll. We may see him slow down a step.
I was just going to say, we mentioned it's low 80s, it's humid. You know, you got to keep the hydration going on that sideline tonight for the Wildcats. Carter, he's going to air it out on 2nd down. He's got a man wide open across the middle. And it looks like they are going to go to the house. 33 yards on the touchdown reception by Andrew Reuter.
Rosemount still finding some of that success through the air. Nice pattern.
Well, 33 yards on that score. They had a 14-yard run earlier, a 1-yard run earlier. Watch how open he is. Just comes across. He was lined up on the outside, came in. Might have got a hand on him there coming across. And Reuter to the house. I believe that's his 3rd reception of the year that's went to the house. And the kick is up, and it's good. And 24.1 to go. It is now 21-0 Rosemount all over the Eagan Wildcats.
Boy, big first quarter for the Irish, Mike.
Well, Jeff Erdman told us before the game, we need to play well. I'd say he's pretty happy.
Well, what they're doing is they're taking advantage of opportunity.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're right there when the ball comes out of the grass. They're making good plays on special teams, and they are grinding the ball hard on the ground, running crisp routes. That counter about 3 plays back, it's a brilliant play.
And then you tack on the 15 for the personal foul. So that drive, because you had a 5-yard penalty to start the drive too, 3 plays, 75 yards. That's pretty good.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad. Not bad at all. So 21-0, the Irish are comfortably in front. You know, and I think from an Eagan standpoint, this is what you were fearful of tonight. That you get way down against a good team. That their record is deceptive. They're 0-2. But,
well, you know, where the Wildcats are at in their program, they don't want to get down quick to anybody. We spend a lot of time down. We're looking for our first win under Coach Hansen. Getting down early is the last thing we want to do with that short kick.
And Egan's going to start this time. Sundberg's return. Did he get to the 20? That's about where he got. Again, good downfield coverage by the Rosemount Irish.
Well, that kick was about as high as it was long, so the coverage really got down there well.
I think it was Sam Ziegler first one down for the Irish. It was 11 on 11 as Sundberg was returning for the Cats, and they're going to spot the ball, on the 20-yard line. Here was 17.1 to go. Opening quarter.
You'd like to say it's all Irish, but we've pointed out some of the key elements that have happened on the Wildcat side of the ball.
Hansen to throw near side. Sundberg, he'll catch it at the 17. Good block, but he maybe got one before he gets popped. 34 over there for the Rosemount Irish. First man in was Jake Ratzloff. Cole Kramer over and gave him a pop as well.
He gave him a nice shot.
And that will be the final play of the opening quarter. So 14-11 for 1 yard.
2nd and 9.
We'll flip sides and try it again.
Yep, it'll be 2nd and 9. Yeah, as you said. Maybe it's a good omen. All the scoring's been in the end zone to our left. Okay.
I would love for that to be the case, Mike.
Yeah, let's try to be optimistic, shall we?
I like it. And again, too, you know what? We can't say enough about the Irish offense is clicking, but they are being opportunistic. There's been some penalties. There's been some turnovers, some special teams mishaps. I think Eagan needs to wipe the slate clean here and say, listen, this is the quarter to get back in this ball game.
Yes.
Let's get a score and put up some nice defensive stops. Go into the locker room with a little bit more manageable deficit than 21-0.
And some momentum.
Absolutely.
Hey, we should mention, we talked before we came in there, the Eagan Boosters, great community support here in Eagan this year. And you know what, and without a lot of these businesses helping out, this program would not be where it is. We should make sure we thank some of our corporate sponsors. That includes the Urgency Room, Summit Orthopedics, Dan Ehrenberg, he's a real estate professional, Quilted Memories, Cooper's, Wyatt's Twisted Americana, Baldman Brewing, Wildcats Bar and Grill, Superior Service Center, Carboni's Pizzeria, among those on board as sponsors for the Eagan football team here in 2017. And that ball is behind the intended target, and that was almost a pick for Getwitz.
The Booster Club for all the athletics in Eagan is very strong. We talked earlier, Mike, that back in the day, there wasn't a booster presence. There wasn't the need for it maybe, but boy, we sure are thankful for all the corporate sponsors and just the booster clubs in general. A lot of the parents pour a lot of energy into the sports.
And again, Friday Night Lights, there's a lot of vendors out there again tonight.
They sold out a lot of their food last week.
Yeah, I saw Molly Wally ran out, for example, bunts, or simply bunt cakes.
And I didn't even see you leave the booth, so I don't know what happened, but a couple of booths ran out of food completely.
And straight ahead, delayed handoff. Still on his feet is Lyons. He stumbles his way for about 8. He needed 10. He's finally finished off out there by Wenzel for the Irish.
Boy, and that's just the luck we've had. A great run, 3rd and long, and you come up just short, and you go, you know what, we can kick it away. We've had mixed success in that respect. It looks like there's a wholesale change of personnel, and they wisely have to kick it away.
By the way, Shakopee, who Eagan is at next week, they are now up 10-0 over at Eastview early in the second quarter. How about the Sabres? They knocked off Farmington last week.
That was a big win for them, too.
And now they're up 10-0 at Eastview. And we've got a timeout on the field. This time it is taken by the Eagan Wildcats.
Eagan will travel to Shakopee, catch a team that conceivably right now might have some momentum as they head into next week's game.
Yeah, Apple Valley now up 21-0, by the way, at Jefferson. As we said, Apple Valley, they're a 5A team now, so Eagan doesn't play them this year.
Right.
Nor does Eagan play Eastview or Burnsville.
It's an interesting layout schedule-wise for the Cats this year.
We should mention Rosemount. They've got, they don't play, they don't get Lakeville North this year, as I'm looking at their schedule real quick. They've got Burnsville. They got Farmington. Let's see who it is they're missing on there. They don't have Prior Lake like we do.
Sure.
But Rosemount, they are home on the 23rd. Yes, a Saturday game, a 5 o'clock start. They host Farmington down at Irish Stadium. Part of a big 100-year celebration of Rosemount High School. Heard a lot of different activities are going to be taking place down there in Rosemount next week. Friday and Saturday, 22nd, 23rd. The 2-day celebration will offer something for everyone, including food, music, athletics, memorabilia, school tours, opportunities for classes to gather and socialize. And there's a community dance at the community center Friday from 7 to 11 for all the Rosemount grads. Come on back, see the old high school. Great kick that time by the Wildcats. And cutting to the near side, and he's finally wrestled down is, I believe, number 32 for the Rosemount Irish. Actually, that is number 82. Their kick returner is Jacob Brown, a 5'6" senior. And again, Rosemount, nice starting position at their own 46-yard line.
Not the greatest snap on that punt. He got it off, and it wasn't a bad kick, not real high, and not a bad return. But, yeah, they're near midfield. The defense has really got to try to slow this Irish team down.
I mean, I realize we're a minute into the second quarter, but is this potentially a game-turning drive?
I would assume so.
I don't know if that's strong, if that is too strong, but Rosemount is up 21-0. And they're going to give it to Green, and he's wrapped up. Might have got a yard west in there for the Wildcats.
That might have been that same counter-type misdirection play that was wildly successful on that last drive.
Tommy Schultz in there too, by the way. Give him 2 on that carry.
No, I like what you're saying, Mike. I definitely think that one of these drives, I mean, probably more so if the Cats put up a stop than if the Irish go down and score one.
Carter's going to throw it far side. Across the 50, across the 45. First down Irish. Down to the 44-yard line. That was number 5 with the reception for the Rosemount Irish, Marvin Walker. He had a touchdown earlier tonight.
Couple of opportunities to make that stop short of the box.
But a 9-yard pass, first down, Rosemount.
Sticks move.
And this field is definitely tilted downhill for the Irish. Fresh set for the team wearing white. Tight formation. Carter, he'll keep, meets Mason West. Meets a couple other Cats, but he still got down to the 40, picks up about 3 on the quarterback keep. Number 8 McCollum was in there as well for the Wildcats.
One big play, either way, like we said just a few minutes ago, could really turn the tide in some capacity. The fans right now are waiting for something big to happen on the defensive side.
Carter under center. Long count. Oh, they're an audible. He looks over to Coach Erdman and company. Again, long count for Carter. Near side man. He crosses the 40, 35. That's going to be close to a first down. I believe actually he got the necessary distance. Jonathan Mann on the reception for the Rosemount Irish. Down to the 33-yard line. That's going to be a 12-yard pickup. Chains move.
You know, your playbook is a lot more appealing when you're looking at second and third and shorts and things like that. You don't have to get too terribly creative.
I don't know what to say. The thing I like Rosemount, I mean, they're running the ball with success. They're throwing it left, throwing it right. I mean, they seemingly can do no wrong other than that opening drive.
Now, we said that the last couple of weeks they have not been real effective on the ground.
Straight ahead. Not going anywhere that time. Walker maybe falls forward for a couple.
Nice open field tackle.
Yeah, number 5 in there for the Eagan Wildcats is Cole Poplinski back in the lineup tonight for the Wildcats. He missed the first couple of games this year. I believe, was it a knee?
I think so. Sorely missed. Good athlete.
Should mention Isaac Hofstad not playing tonight for the Wildcats. Number 10 Also out is Michael Melville, 23. Both have some, Melville, I think, is a rib injury. And Rosemount tries, they got him far side man. Can he get the corner? Can he get the distance? 10, 5. And he's taken down at about the 5. Boy, is that kid quick. Just a sophomore.
You know, they had a route run deep that kind of cleared out that flat. They ran that guy over there. Another real quick little hitter, little bubble screen looking thing, and just it's man on man right there at that point.
And I believe we have a flag down somewhere on the field because Rosemount's coming back. So it's 26 yards on the pass, but
Number 6 of the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replays second down.
Andrew Reuter, another wide receiver, did a no-no. So Rosemount is going to get the ball back at on the Eagan 27. Let's keep an eye on number 6 downfield there.
I was just going to say it had to have been a downfield hold just because the pass was so quick. The lineman had no reason to grab onto anybody's jersey.
So at the Eagan 29, instead of in the shadows of the post.
That could be a break that the Cats need to kind of slow things down here. We'll see what kind of leg the kicker has if we can get him to a 4th down.
Carter gives it to the up back, powering his way down near the 20-yard line. That's big, number 35. His first carry of the night is Kubitz. He had the key block on that Green touchdown back in the first quarter.
Big kid.
Very big kid. They list him at 6'2", 232. That's going to be a first down at the Eagan 21. Clock is stopped, all the chains moved. 2 receivers to the left for the Irish, nobody out right. Carter to Green, hello. And then a number of Eagan Wildcats stood him up at the 20, got maybe a yard. Looks like McCollum was the first man in for the Wildcats.
We've had some success when they've run these counter-type plays, but when they went straight forward, like on that last play with Kubitz, enough guys follow that fake, and the big guy could just fall forward. But nice stand there by the Cats on that last play.
I saw Antonio step on. They showed him close up on the screen. He was in there as well for the Cats' big 56. A lot of options here for the Irish, and they're going to go air it out this time. Here's Carter scrambling. He's got room. If he can get to the outside, he does. Gets around Schultz. Lowers that shoulder, gets to about the 12. Going to be just shy of a first down, I do believe.
Yeah, I think he's just short, Mike.
Needed 9. And Tommy Schultz and that Eagan defense, they've been on the field a lot this half.
They really have, too. And we talk about getting gassed, getting winded. So you got numbers working against you, and then you're asking one of your units to spend the majority of the time out there.
It's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Irish as they gave Carter 7 on that. There's Green, and it's going to be 4th and short for the Irish. I don't think he got the 2. He might have got 1.
Well,
a whole lot of Wildcats in there, including in Quanta, number 7. Well, you know it's go territory for the Irish.
You'd have to think so, Mike. I mean, it's 4th and 2. There's nothing to indicate that they're doing anything other than lining it up. Now, remember, they got the counter. They got the big guy. They got all sorts of options, but undoubtedly they'll keep it on the ground, and they could get creative, but...
Yeah, just let Carter run right forward. He kind of hurried that count. I don't think Eagan was totally ready, but it's a first down inside the 10.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to make. All of a sudden, he was moving downfield, and the Cats were still getting set.
First down at the Eagan 9. You know, and if you're Rosemount, too, heck, run the clock right now.
You know what? It's a little early to be talking about that, but that's a valid point. There's no point in letting that clock stop. It is only 21-0.
Right. But you get in here, and suddenly you're looking 27, 28, depending on the extra point. And here's Green. He's going to try from 9 yards out. He'll get maybe a couple. He meets a number of the Wildcats. Big 54 was the first man in there for the Eagan Wildcats. First time we've called the name tonight of Ben Learen, who goes by Bubba. And we've got a cat down on the turf.
Good containment on that last play, Mike. They turned it inside, and for a couple, but when you're inside the 10, a couple is, about a third of the way you got to get the score.
I think Quanta that comes off it. We just had the wind knocked out of him. They're going to say actually no gain on that play. Well, we've called him Quanta's name a lot tonight.
Yeah.
Kid played running back last year, and I got to admit, I questioned why he never got more carries last year. But boy, he's played well on defense this year. Is Rosemount's 2nd and goal from the 9 as we approach the halfway point, quarter number 2. Give it the green spin move, falls forward to about the 5. Blake Schultz in there for the Wildcats. So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 5. Now if you're Rosemount, what do you do?
Well, we're 4 down territory. It's 3rd and goal. I mean,
they got a 3-receiver set. Green is alone in the backfield. Big holder if Carter just keeps it. Martin said he's going to throw. Got his man coming across the middle, couldn't connect. He was trying to hit man.
It might have been tipped at the line, Mike.
Yep, I think it was. Actually, take that back. It was 6 his intended target, not 1 man. 6 is Reuter. So yeah, if you're Rosemount, I assume you go for the field goal here with Whiting, and I do see number 45 out on the field. Looks like the ball will be spotted at the 13, so make that a 23-yard attempt for Whiting. Plenty of distance. Did he split the uprights? He did. So Whiting from 23 to make it a 24-0 game.
I mean, all things considered, Mike, can you build on that? I mean, you gave up the field goal. Couple of nice defensive plays. Some heads-up football, turning the ball carrier inside, getting a hand maybe on that last pass. It could be 28. So I think you have to build on that and say we got to go down and get in the end zone. We do not want to go into the locker room with a goose egg.
24-0 Rosemount. As we said, 5:17 to go here in the opening half. Eagan does have 1 timeout if we want to get a little bit ahead of ourselves here. Well, the Irish have 2.
We talked earlier about that quick drive, 3 plays, 75 yards. We've had unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. We've had all sorts of things that have not shown that the Cats are playing the crispest form of football right now. Got a whole half. It could be worse technically given the fact that the Rosemount Irish are moving the ball and the Cats are helping out in the penalty department, the turnover department, and the special teams department.
I like what you said. Is crispus a word?
It is tonight.
It is now, okay. But no, you're absolutely right. I think you pegged it. Again, great house here in Wildcat country. The big pink out, the pit is pink. You know the pit's going to make the trek to Shakopee next week.
Absolutely.
Well, if years past is any indication, and they had a decent showing up at Minnetonka in week 1.
Yep.
And Shakopee not nearly as far. Go check out the new facilities down there at Shakopee that they opened up last year.
It's beautiful. The varsity lacrosse team was there in like 30-degree temperatures last year. It's impressive.
It's got turf, doesn't it?
It does have turf and one huge scoreboard.
We're still old school here. So Poplinski back with Sundberg to receive the kick from Whiting. Short kick. And Poplinski's going to come up. And that ball is going to, did it get out of bounds? Or did Poplinski touch it? If Poplinski touched it, Egan's going to get the ball there. If it went out of bounds, that ball's going to move up to, I believe, the 40.
He kind of swiped at it as opposed to maybe letting it just do what it was going to do. The way it was kicked. Let's have a look here, Mike.
This is going to be a great look here. Yep. But he might have done the right thing because you saw the Rosemount player, number 11, hustling down.
Yeah.
Zingler. He made a nice stop on Sundberg on an earlier kickoff. So, yeah, right move there by Poplinski.
I think the way that Rosemount guy was coming in, that it's a free kick, so it's anybody's ball if it goes the right amount of distance.
Near side, McClenty. Boy, got to maybe the 26. Give him about 3 on that carry. By the way, Prior Lake down 14-0 to Eden Prairie at halftime. Lakeville North is bounced back slightly. They're up 30-0 over Farmington right now. Yeah, I'd say the Panthers were probably a little PO'd after that game at Eden Prairie last week.
I think so. Now, again, Eden Prairie's a great team. We all know that. But, yeah, it's not hard to get angry and come back.
Plenty one-on-one. He was slowed down at least out there, but still falls forward for a couple after the initial hit from Lampert. Say it's out to the 27, so it's a pickup of about 2. So third and about a long 5, maybe 6. 3rd and 6, they say on the scoreboard. You would think passing situation for the Wildcats. Hansen is going to throw. Tries to get the man across the middle. Couldn't quite hang on.
Wow.
I believe that was that Tower it was. Good coverage, though, by the Rosemount D.
He was all over him, but, boy, he might have hit him right in stride, right in the belly.
Just played perfectly defensively.
Yeah, I think so.
It was a nice throw.
Got an arm in there. Maybe pulled him loose. Not the kind of drive you want to try to answer to after the defense only gave up the field goal.
And they're bouncing up on the pit. We've got a timeout, Wildcats. I believe every time the Wildcats have kicked since that block, they've called timeout.
Well, you know, you certainly don't need another block kick.
No.
The one that was blocked, the kicker was not as deep. It was almost like they were considering going for it, and he was backing up, and they came gangbusters. He's got a normal punter's depth here, and the blocking up front hasn't been terrible, and the kicks haven't been bad either. Special teams, both how you play them on the defensive side and the offensive side, not a bad timeout. You have to get the ball as deep as you can into Irish territory. You can't let them score again before the half.
So we've got 4:09 to go. Rosemount looking to really, bad pun here, but clean up before halftime. They're already up 24-0 here with 4:09 to go.
Right on.
Should mention for the young Eagan hockey fans, EHA Hockey's having an open house with free skating, hot dogs, and beverages Friday, September 29th over at the Civic Arena, 5:15 to 6:45. Free hot dogs, beverages, and EHA swag. Nice. Hard to believe on a night when it's 80 and humid that we're talking puck here in just a couple of weeks.
It comes up fast, halfway through September.
Better snap that time. And the kick is short. With a favorable roll, and it will be fielded at the 44 by Rosemount. And the man will get across to about the 46-yard line. That was, again, number 82, Brown, their return man. And again, Rosemount starting in Eagan territory.
Yeah, again, not the greatest punt. Quite a bit of pressure, I think. I don't know about you, Mike, but I was kind of tensing up as he was taking that extra step to kind of get some leg behind that. Special teams are huge. On both sides of the football, how you defend them and how you execute them.
Yeah, I think you could feel a little wind coming out of the sails here on the home sideline on that for that split second or two. You're absolutely right on that one. So we are getting everybody set. There we are. 24-0 Irish. Looking to potentially put a dagger in. Here's man. Hello. Mason West says hello. 54 in there as well. Big Bubba Learin for the Wildcats.
Well, I think we talked before the game to Coach Hansen, and he said they were going to rely heavily on the defense to really kind of get this game off and running in their favor. If we look at the stats at halftime, we may not see that the Irish have run up and down the field. Take away the block punt, take away the fumble, take away the personal fouls. The defense is doing as good a job as they can do given where they're forced to start playing.
Absolutely. Here goes Rosemount looking to air it out. Carter's going to go to the left side. Got his man one-on-one downfield. And that's man. That's 6. What a throw and catch by the Irish.
Wow.
49 yards, and it's 30-0 for the visitors.
Mike, that wasn't bad coverage. He was right there. I can't wait to see the replay on this. Well executed, but boy, that coverage, I don't know that from my angle right away, I don't know it could be any better.
Yeah, that spiral nicely thrown. Look at that, boy, he hit him right there. You're right. That was great coverage downfield. I believe that was Williams deep for the Wildcats, Colin Williams. Yeah, he's right there. But that ball was do you say, perfectly placed?
Yeah, there was probably a little size differential there, too, between the receiver and the D-back, and maybe a late turn to see where that ball was coming from. But, boy, it don't hurt when your teammates yell ball.
Well, that drive took all of 28 seconds. 31-0 Irish, 3:29 to go in the opening half. She mentioned Kevin Sorensen, who puts together this Dog and Pony show. Watching us tonight from Gaffney, South Carolina.
All right. Say hi to the folks in Gaffney for us, Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin, thanks for checking in. Hope you're enjoying a beverage on the beach there. I mean, if Gaffney's even on the beach, I have no idea where it is.
It could be.
Bottom line, it's Friday night. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right.
Whatever.
It's probably 5 o'clock there at the time differential.
Exactly.
You know, this is probably the worst case scenario for the Wildcats, Mike, to come out and not necessarily get outplayed, but the scoreboard certainly says otherwise. And what does it do? It sucks the momentum off your sideline. The fans, even the pit right now, are kind of bewildered and going, hey, give us something to get excited about.
Yeah, and the pit, I believe, is the only people standing on the Eagan side right now up in the stands.
That's mandatory. I think that might be mandatory. we have an in with the captain of the pit.
And that ball is, there we go, fielded on the hop. Again, Cass just can't get anything going. Even special teams is a struggle tonight for the gray-shirted Wildcats, and they are going to start back at their own, they say the 11-yard line, I do believe.
You know, if you want to be, you can be absolutely literal. Special teams are a third of what goes on in this sport. No, I understand there's way more offensive plays, way more defensive plays, but look how important special teams is. Our punting unit has really kind of behooved the Rosemount Irish offense. We've mishandled a couple of kicks, and that just gets that return off to a slow start. We got to move the ball here, at least keep it until halftime.
By the way, update from South Carolina, there is no sand in Gaffney. According to
Good
Kevin.
to know.
Yeah. 3:22 to go here in a Rosemount Irish dominated first half. Hanson far side. Let's see if the Cats can get something going here in the final minutes. At least get something to build on. And we've got whistles aplenty. I imagine Rosemount might have taken a timeout here.
I think they might have, Mike.
They have 2 left. And they are, it is correct, Rosemount with the timeout.
Well, with 3:14 to go, I mean, they're thinking, let's get this ball back.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's plenty of clock for the Irish. They've got the Wildcats deep in their own zone. We have not been terribly effective. You know, even if we wind up punting the ball away, they're going to start in Wildcat territory unless we get something going real quick here.
By the way, Eagan's only down 31-0. North now leads Farmington 37-0. Wow. Okay. And we get Lakeville North here October the 18th, last home game of the year. We said we're not back home till October the 13th when Wayzata is here for homecoming.
I've got a feeling, Mike, it's going to be a little cooler that night.
It'd be great if it was this nice in mid-October, wouldn't it?
It would be great.
You know, that's that time of year, too, when it starts to get kind of goofy with the schedule because you've got MEA in there or education minister, whatever the heck it's officially called. It's always going to be MEA.
Yep.
You know, where the teachers are supposedly going to go down and, you know, to the River Center and teacher whatever. But, yeah, they play on a Friday, then a Wednesday, but then I think with 6A, you don't play again until the following Friday. But at some of the smaller schools that are smaller classes, something you're playing on a Tuesday again. And a quick swing pass. That's Sundberg out to maybe the 17, maybe 2 on that play. And timeout again taken by the Rosemount Irish.
Yeah, they want that ball back, Mike, with some clock.
So it's going to be 3rd and about maybe 4. Let's take a look here. Let's get the 18. They need to get out to about the 21. They're 17. Yeah, about 4. They're on the 17-yard line. So 3:02 to go. And as we said, it's been, all Irish other than that opening drive for the Wildcats.
Boy, it started off really promising. I mean, like I said earlier, toe-to-toe. I'll move the sticks, you move the sticks. But once the horse is out of the stable, it got a little bit not good real quick.
Just a reminder for those of you watching us that are Rosemount supporters, Saturday the 23rd, Farmington comes up Highway 3. Special 5 o'clock start down at Irish Stadium. And then the big rivalry, Eastview at Rosemount on the 29th. Always a nice setting down there in Irish Stadium. We talked about that last week.
It's beautiful.
Kind of that little bowl there with the trees on the surrounding about a third of it. Just a nice facility there.
A lot of us had a chance to play there back in the early 80s, Mike.
And some of us were fans.
It is. It's a really cool setting. And a lot of up and down Highway 3 for what used to be, my day I called it the old Minnesota Conference, but you got a lot of teams that come up Highway 3, go down Highway 3. Kind of a cool little thing that goes on with some of these towns.
Kind of a big game in 6A tonight. Champlain Park leads St. Michael Albertville 14-10 at the half. I think those were teams ranked like 4th and 6th, I think, in the poll this week. How about St. Michael Albertville? They making the step up to 6A. 2-0, dominant in a couple of games. We've got a little clock issue. We're trying to get it set to 3:08. Now I think they've got it. Got an extra 0 in the front, but hey, that should work.
Olympic time.
There you go.
They're back to it again.
There you go. Hey, as long as it works. Bottom line, 3:08 to go in the half. 3rd and 5 for Eagan. They're going to run it near the 20-21. It's going to be close to the first down, but I think they're going to be just shy. Plenty of the ball carrier. And actually, nope, the stick. Yep, there go the sticks. They got just enough, 4 yards on that run.
He was real upright on that carry, but boy, you could see the knees just churning, and he wanted that mark.
Ball is set, clock is running. Down to 2:49 to go in the half. Let's see if the Cats go to the air and try to at least get down into field goal position here. Hanson, he's going to throw it back, far side back across. No chance. That play is going to lose about 4 yards. Read extremely well by the Rosemount D. That was Jackson on the reception.
I'm sure that was a design play, but it almost looked like the quarterback looked left and then kind of doubled back and threw right. That amount of time elapses, and they've sniffed that out pretty good.
Burnsville, Lakeville South, 6-6 at the half.
Wow.
Coming across the Twitter feed here.
Tyler Krebs back in his old stomping grounds.
Coming near side for the Cats. No, incomplete pass. So now you're looking at 3rd and 14, or 13 they've got on the board officially. Do you run it here just to work the clock so Rosemount has less time?
Well, they're coming. If we have to punt, they're coming. So
absolutely.
I guess you're kicking either way if you don't hit the sticks. So,
and you have no timeouts to call this time on the punt.
The sure-handed Sundberg on that last one, that ball was just out of reach.
I would think you run it here and milk the clock, and they're not going to. They're going to throw it, and that play took all of 3 seconds. Yeah. Flag, though, on the field. Let's see what this is all about. If it's on Eagan, I'm sure Rosemount will decline, but it's going to be close to where the line of scrimmage is.
You want to say holding, probably, given the fact that it was a pass play and one flag came from the back judge.
There we go. Yep, penalty on the Cats. Yeah, but actually we have offsetting penalties.
So repeat third down.
Repeat third down.
Well, it's not a bad break for us.
Still took 3 seconds off the clock.
Ineligible downfield, number 60 to the offense. Personal foul, roughing the passer, 34 of the defense. Those penalties offset, replay third down.
So it's Jake Ratzlaff for Rosemount on the roughing the passer. Jack Roshwater, the offensive lineman, downfield for the Cats.
Ran a nice route though, Mike.
I don't know how you get a guy downfield on that quick of a play to get one of your linemen inelligibly
downfield, right. We're wordsmithing this together, but now we need the Cats to offensive smith something for us here. A little break, third down again.
Yep, third down, 13. Whoa, high snap. Hanson throws it, got his man short of the first down. Clock will stop because he got out of bounds. Break for the Irish. Is that McCollum on the far side? I can't tell. We said Eagan's got those new home unis this year that are hard to read looking all the way across the field.
Looks like he might have stepped out of bounds a little bit earlier than what we saw because there wasn't much of a gain there.
Bottom line was a 7-yard pass. Eagan going to be forced to kick it away. Brown standing back on his own 44-yard line for the Irish with just under 2 minutes to go in the half. Better kick. Brown will step up to about the 48 of Rosemount, and he'll get it down across the 45 where he is kind of wrestled down on that far side. I believe Schultz, first man down there for the Wildcats. And Rosemount with no timeouts, but they got a $1:48.
And the ball in Eagan territory while the Pit's trying to get a little energy going here to close out this first half.
Just looking back, Rosemount, this drive's on the Eagan 44, starting on the 44. Last drive on the 47. Before that, their own 46. Their own 30. The Eagan 41. Eagan's 23. Eagan's 4. Rosemount's 49. This man. Jersey tackle.
Nice.
Gets maybe a 1 on that play as he came back. So 2-1, 4-1.
Yeah, aside from 1 or 2 starts, it's been about field position tonight.
Clock continues to roll, 124 and counting. There's Poplinski back in the Eagan lineup tonight. First time this year that Coles made the field. 3 receivers right for the Irish, 1 left. Man is lined out bottom of your screen just above the graphic there. And they're going to look left side going into single coverage. Deep downfield, Carter. And that ball just about caught far side. Unable to get the Walker. Or check that, number 6 is Reuter, 5 is Walker. So it's going to be 3rd and about 9 for the Irish.
They're airing it out.
See how close he came to getting this football. I think he just got through and kind of hit the ground by his left elbow there. That was close, though.
That was close.
Again,
Close
nice throw by Carter.
Yeah, he's got an arm on him.
Carter 6'1", just a junior, number 2 there for the Irish. A little bit tight formation by Rosemount standards here tonight. With 1:02 to go in the half. Carter got plenty of time. He's going to go deep once again, looking for his man. Has he got him? And that ball should have been caught potentially. I think that's man, and he knows he should have had that.
Yep. That had score written all over it. One of them situations where that ball probably goes into slow motion on him. He had his man beat, and he just hit him right in the hands.
Yeah, you got to catch that.
Oh, break for the Wildcats.
Huge break for the Wildcats. Yeah. Rosemount going to be punting this one away. I mean, granted, Rosemount's up 31-0. Odds of Eagan coming back from this are minimal. 38-0, even more minimal.
Right.
But just for Rosemount, that's more of a confidence thing.
Well, and again, what the Wildcats need to do is they can't be saying, hey, what do we need to do to win this football game? They need to come into that locker room and say, what do we need to do to win this second half?
Absolutely.
They already have, unfortunately, they have to start looking forward to next week's game. Yes, anything can happen. The game is not over. There's a half a game of football, but what do we need to do to win and what do we need to do to win the second half are 2 completely different things, and I would opt for the latter and see if you can accomplish both.
Absolutely. 25-yard line of the Wildcats with 47.4 to go. No timeouts for the Wildcats. Do you play conservative here and just go to half down 31?
Well, you certainly can't set yourself up for disaster, but 31-38, the momentum is kind of teetering. The score is kind of what it is. You might as well take a shot.
I'd have to check, but I think Rosemount gets the ball to start the second half.
I believe you're right, man.
Hansen thought about throwing, stepped up, and he got maybe a net of 1 on that play, and what very well could be the final play of the half as you see the time counting down. 32 seconds. Cats probably do need to run one more. Second and 9 officially. Lakeville North, by the way, at the half, 44-0 over Farmington.
Oof.
Here comes Hansen. Actually, it's going to be a straight run. Lions get out near the 30, move the pile to about the 32, maybe the 33. Let's give them 7 on that carry. Rosemount says they have it. Doesn't matter. Clock just hit 0.
Clock says zeros.
And Cats are heading to the locker. Rosemount still says they have it, but I don't think there's any time left. It's not going to matter. So at the intermission, a game that started very evenly matched. Rosemount definitely took over, and they go to the intermission with a comfortable 31-0 lead.
You've got an established program, Mike. You have a program that's up and coming. You come out toe-to-toe. You trade blows. Things are looking kind of promising. All it takes is a few big plays, and then that established program can just go with it.
Looks like the Eagan band is going to be out there for halftime.
EAA, our youngsters are down on the field getting ready for their night of recognition.
Yeah. All right, so at the half, Rosemount 31, the Wildcats nothing. Welcome back to Wildcat Country, where we get set for second half action. We're the score at the intermission. The Rosemount Irish 31, the Eagan Wildcats 0.
All over the Cats tonight, Mike, but we talked about this at halftime. It hasn't all been Irish. It's been some mistakes, some special teams mishaps. The score is what it is, but it's a little bit deceiving. Irish have to come out and try to win this second half.
Yeah, Mike Cook here along with Ken Merwin, Evan Cook running stats up here in the booth for us, and got a bunch of people all helping out camera here, volunteering tonight here on ETV. As you said, Ken, it's a half that was really dominated by the Irish other than that first drive of the night for Eagan. And then they did have 28 yards on their second drive, but the Cats unofficially in the first half had a whopping 96 yards.
Yeah, you're not going to get it done like that. And, you know, while the Irish have put some yards up, Mike, if you go down the list and look at their starting field position, they've been within an arm's length of the stripe in the middle of the field almost every drive.
I just looked it up. Of their 7 first half drives, only 1 started worse than their own 46.
And some were as good as the Eagan 4.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Again, too, can Eagan come back and put a win together here? They're down 31-0. Come out, win the second half. Again, like Coach Hansen said before the game, every week they're building on something. This second half goes their way. This is something to build on heading on the road for a 3-game trip starting next week.
There's a little, let's look at some of the booth. There's Evan Cook, our stat guy in the middle, ready to work hard here in the second half. Yeah, we should mention down in the truck tonight, we've got Josh Sibley, Haley Boston joining us tonight. Rookie. James Stevenson back with us. Jeff Anderson is here. Jeff LaPointe's running a camera tonight for us. I'm sure we're missing a couple people. We'll try to get all these names in as this one goes on. As you look at the Wildcats stretching out, it is tackle cancer night.
Kick cancer, tackle, do whatever you got to do to cancer. Just
exactly. Yeah, bottom line. Yeah, let's beat it. That's the bottom line. As we said, a great crowd on hand here at the start of this one. You see the pit. They're all here. They're decked out in their pink.
Having a ball.
I think this might be the first time I've seen pit shirts that are in pink.
Yeah, they have 4 shirts that they put out this year. The pink out, obviously, for tackle cancer. A white out. They did the Hawaiian, but they have 2 other ones. I think one was like an Eagan blue and maybe the blackout. But the pit out in full force, and let's not forget the Rosemount student body. They've got a few fans here, and they've had a lot to cheer about tonight, Mike.
I was going to say, they have more than a few fans here tonight. You look at the student section there for the Rosemount Irish decked out in the black tonight.
It's just a short trip up Highway 3. And remember, last week, Lakeville South was in town. They brought an impressive contingent as well, but I think Rosemount's outdone them for the second home game of the year.
Yeah, I would say so as well. As we said, 31-0 Irish. We found out we've been calling number 18 tonight. We've been calling him as Mark Jackson, which is listed in the program. Actually, that's Barrett, or was it Barrett Woods, they said, I believe, was 18 tonight. So just found out about that numeral change from Dave Giles, public address announcer here in Wildcat Country, longtime public address announcer.
Does a nice job for us.
It was nice at halftime. It was EAA night. A lot of youngsters getting a run out here on the field from the goalposts as their teams were introduced. We had the band out there for a while. We had the cheer squad. We had the junior cheerleaders. There was a clinic that the EHS cheerleaders put on for some young girls in the community. They got a chance to come out here and dance tonight. And it was cute because a lot of them had these little pink bows in their hair.
It's a big hit. They really enjoyed the cheer clinic. Again, it's something for everybody tonight. football in perfect weather and all the aforementioned activities, Friday Night Lights and our wonderful vendors. Giving the ball to the Irish to start this second half. A defensive stop here, and again, Mike, in my opinion, the key is to win this second half and take any momentum you can muster out of tonight into next week.
Well, you saw the pit there a moment ago. Looks like they're trying to do the skull chant that they do before Viking games down at US Bank Stadium with the two hand claps and the chant. And Rosemount is going to get the ball to start off at their own 20 as the kick from Willis goes into the end zone. First time tonight Willis has touched the field, the Wildcat kicker. So let's see how long Rosemount keeps their starters out there. I would imagine you're going to go for sure this series. If you go down and score maybe one more.
You know, every team that we've talked about so far in this young season has kind of touched some injury stuff. So it's a consideration. They're playing for the next week and the next week, but there's the playoffs too, so you got to stay healthy.
Yeah, and Coach Jeff Ribman of the Irish told us before the game, injury-free, which is rare to say in a football season. Now, granted, we're 3 weeks in. Nonetheless, Carter still under center for the Rosemount Irish. Handoff straight up. About 6 Wildcats in on that stop as Rosemount tried to run behind big number 74, Jacob Kalpa. He's a 6'1", 300-pounder.
You know, real quick hitter there, and a whole herd of Wildcats, but I'll tell you what they'll do right on the tail of something like that. They'll run that counter, and everybody collapses on that fake back, and then off to the races goes the guy with the football.
You know, I would imagine we will see Rosemount running the ball an awful lot here in this second half. I know Coach Erdman said they need to get their running game going after getting just 7 a week ago against Edina. I think they had 152 or something total coming into the year.
Wow.
Nice wrap up there by the Eagan D.
Well, I like what you're saying, Mike. The clock now is, they wanted to keep running. Like they wanted to stop the clock to get that last possession in the first half. They got no problem with seconds peeling off of it at this point.
Yeah, McClenty and West, who you see on your screen there, they were in on that stop for the Wildcats. Actually, West with the initial hit, and there's McClenty over to help him out. So it's 3rd and 5 for the Irish. Tight formation for the visitors. And they're going to near side. Will he keep it? Yeah, he's going to throw across his body. And that ball is going to be caught out at about the 37-yard line by Walker.
You know, I know he rolled out. He obviously had lots of time. He rolled out, but the longer those receivers are able to find space behind the linebackers, the more likely he can just float one in. And he had at least 1 or 2 receivers that were just wide open.
And that's just tough for the secondary because you're running all over the place.
And you've been running all over the place. They've been on the field. We talked about that earlier a lot.
Another run play for the Irish. Minimal pickup there, maybe a couple. Starting to see who comes up. That would be number 21 for the Rosemount Irish. First carry is Jaden Itchert.
You know, with some of the woes that the Rosemount ground game has had leading up to this game, if they go into like burn the clock mode, it could work to the advantage of the Wildcats in that they might get a stop and get something going offensively.
Yeah, very possible. And as you said, coming into this, quarter, for Eagan, it's just play a good half. Get some momentum before you go on the road here next week. And that ball, that was nearly picked.
Picked twice.
Mann was the intended target. And Mann had a nice first half. He had a 49-yard reception. Nearly had another one late before the half that kind of went through his arms as he slid down for one. Let's see who was up there for the Wildcats. But Drew Grunkley was the second potential recipient for the Wildcats. Might have been Mason West, but I can't say that with certainty. 3rd and 8 for the Irish. 1, 2, 3 receivers, 1 left, 2 right. Carter taking a long time there. He gets it. He's going to roll right. He's going to throw near side. He's got his man. That's going to be it'll be just shy of the first down, I do believe, on the catch by Zach Barnick. Poplinski there for the Wildcats. That's one where Barnick's going to look back and go, I needed to run 8 yards. I ran 7.
Yeah. Well, Cole stepped up nice. It's good to have him back. That was, he threw under the coverage on that after he rolled to his right, but certainly stepped up and made a nice hit. Leaves him about 1.5 yards short. Rosemount showing punt right now, Mike.
6 yards they're going to say on that pass. Sundberg back deep for the Wildcats.
Typically the sure-handed Sundberg.
16 to punt it for the Irish. Sullivan Lanou. Nice high kick.
That could be returnable.
Sundberg. Oh, boy, is there going to be a flag? There is.
Flag.
Just a split second too early for Rosemount.
You know, that's a tough call because the ball and the guy making the coverage, they kind of all converged on Sundberg at about the same time, but I think they tend to err on the side of caution. He certainly didn't have a window of space to make a clean catch.
By the way, it was Colin Williams back. Oh, Sundberg's out there too. Let's see if we've got it again. I don't think it was Colin Williams coming up, but Sundberg's the normal punt return guy.
Yeah, that was cleanly egregious.
Yep, so Egan's going to should get good field position out of this. Coach Ben Hansen coming out looking for an explanation. With 8:52 to go in the third.
Weighing his options.
Shakopee now up 17-0 over Eastview.
Kick catch interference on the kicking team. That penalty be enforced 15 yards from the end of the kick. First down, Eagan.
Well, penalties rained down pretty readily in that first half, most of them against the Wildcats. We'll take a 15-yard gain like that. Again, too, some mishaps and the penalties in the first half did help the Irish down the field. Let's see if this doesn't help us get something started here.
So Cats will start from their own 38-yard line. Caden Hansen is the signal caller for the Wildcats, wears number 14, a 6'2 senior. I believe Jonah Evans is now his backup, the sophomore. Ethan Gugino, I understand, or you were telling me, broke his thumb in the sophomore game. Or in practice, I should say.
It sounds like he had a thumb injury, and I don't have any direct confirmation, but it does sound like it's a pretty good chance that might be it for him for the season.
That's too bad. You know, it's tough because football, it's such a short season.
You take a thin team and make it thinner like that.
Hansen near side. Man, getting out across the 40 out to about the 42-yard line. Will be LaChance, our tight end. Haven't heard much from him since that opening quarter. Where
we called his name play after play after play when we were moving the football, and you're right, it's been real quiet since that first series of downs.
Well, that's kind of sums up the entire Eagan offense since that opening series.
They were
really
quiet.
Just couldn't get anything going thus far. Let's see if something can change here in the second half. Hansen coming across the middle. Tower out across the 48, stays on his feet. Falls forward to the Irish 49-yard line. First down for the Eagan Wildcats.
You know, that's one of those patterns where you know you're going to take a lick, but he kind of set himself up. He had his body kind of bunched up. The tackler made a good tackle, didn't quite wrap him up, dropped forward for another 3-4 yards.
That's the first catch of the night for Tower, I believe.
He was pretty active last week as far as active it could be for us.
He was active in week 1 at Minnetonka as well. Handoff is going to be Lions across 45 down to the 40. Right, takes a couple of guys on his back down to the 37. Give him 12.
Could be good for the sticks.
Man, that's going to be a first down, and they're starting to some signs of life in the pit. And this time it's for what's on the field, not self-directed, shall we say? From the 37 go the Wildcats. Hansen in trouble. He's got lots of room on that far side. Crosses the 30, 25. Finally gets out of bounds at about the 22-yard line.
You know, he had that guy on the top running that route, and even though I think the receiver may have glanced back and saw that he was rolling hard, the receiver kept running the route and just took that corner with him.
Going to be a 15-yard pickup by the senior signal caller. I believe this is the deepest territory Egan's been, deepest into Rosemount territory.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The Wildcats have been tonight. Run, Lions, forget it. That went nowhere. 23 in there for Rosemount with the initial hit. Michael Judd. It's going to be a loss of 2, maybe 3. Spot the ball at the 20. Actually, they're going to give them just a -1. They're going to spot the ball at the 23. See, we're down to 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cats on the move. Going to get rid of that goose egg on the home side of the scoreboard. Hansen throws it far side. Minimal pickup over there. Going to set up third and about 8. I believe that's Woods on the catch. Yep, the Woods who we called Jackson all along. Because we're not notified of the number change earlier on. So it's now 3rd and 7. Got to be 4-down territory for the Cats, isn't it?
You'd think so. A field goal doesn't do as much for the morale.
Hansen heaving it wide open in the corner. Oh, couldn't quite get his man.
Sundberg.
All alone in that corner. Yeah, there's Sundberg.
He had the feet down. He stretched it as far as he could, and he just didn't quite have the length. Hey.
Great chance there. Yeah, did everything he could.
He tried.
Needed about 6 more inches on those arms. 4th and 7 for the Cats as we approach the midway point of the 3rd quarter. 31-0 Irish. Hansen throws it. Got his man down to the 15. They needed 7. They got 4. Lions on the reception. Turnover on downs.
Nice shoestring tackle there. He'd been able to shake that guy off his foot. The first down would have been
Carter Lyons with the catch.
Well within
Tackle
reach, maybe
made.
even the end zone.
You see the scoreboard there. That tells you everything you need to know right now.
And it does, Mike. And, again, 31-0 is 31-0. But we did talk about a couple contributing factors. If the Cats could clean up their special teams, there's a couple of flags that probably didn't need to occur. The tackle out of bounds. Again, none of it like saying, aside from that, this is a tie ball game. But these are little things. And in a program that's trying to build itself and create an identity, you got to play clean football. You got to take advantage of opportunity.
Absolutely. And Rosemount has done that tonight.
They most certainly have, and that's an established program, so you do not want an established program.
Here comes Walker with a lot of room. Cuts to the outside, 35-40. They had tripped up at the 45-yard line. That might have been a touchdown-saving tackle.
Is that Poplinski?
I believe it was.
Yeah. Welcome back, Cole, but boy, I tell you what, he's been thrown into service and had to make a few key stops.
That's a 29-yard scamper for the Rosemount back.
That'll do a lot for the ground game when you can send a guy out of the backfield 30 yards downfield.
We've got whistles all over the place. 4.
Officials timeout, it looked like, and
we still have them. Sure, something. Eagan's must have called timeout.
Well, they may have.
Looks like one of the student managers going out there with some liquid for the team. Student manager this year is Gemma Sundberg, it says on the roster.
Doesn't look like her, actually, Mike.
No, I'm thinking not. I know we talked to Coach Hansen before the game, and starting last year in his first year here, and he's a little bit more this year. He's been trying to get some of the middle school kids involved. Part of the chain gang, not quite the chain gang, but, ball boys, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Just get them involved with the program.
A lot of people think varsity sports exists exclusively in the high school, exclusively at the junior and senior level. But to that point, get them involved early, get them involved young. Did they say they had nearly 500 athletes in the EAA football program? That's impressive in a sport that across the state and maybe even the country are losing numbers just because of attrition and specialization and a lot of the other things that comes along with people second guessing football.
And you got to remember, Eagan's a city of, what do we have, 65, 68,000 residents, but there's 4 school districts, or 3 different school areas here. You got Burnsville, Eastview, Sibley, you got, of course, Eagan. So it's not that, the EAA gets to pick from, everybody.
Right.
So that gain was from the Rosemount 44 to the Eagan 43, which would be a 13-yard run for Green. At the Eagan 43.
Still a scoreless second half, and you keep the second half score close, but you look at your play and you say we executed and we did not make mistakes.
Absolutely.
So far, so good.
Lakeville South up 9-6 with just over 2 minutes to go in that one against Burnsville. Wow. Carter got a man down the middle. Pomeroy, the intended target, and they could not connect, and he was wide open.
In addition to the fact that it looked like he kind of went down and made some sort of like Odell Beckham type catch. It looked like he had the Stickum glove, and that thing would have hung on. Boy. You know, but when you talk about playing clean football, it isn't about keeping the rags off the field. You have to ask yourself, why is he that wide open?
Right.
On several plays that we've seen Rosemount run tonight, there's been multiple receivers that have found space, and that's what Eagan has to eliminate.
So 2nd and 10 for the Irish. Straight ahead on the run, that's Green. Gets down to the 37 before he even hits a player.
Boy, they sure run downhill. And again, too, we talked about before the game, having talked to the coaching staff over on the Irish sideline, they said they need their ground game to come back, and it has. But you also have to say to yourself, how much of that is the defensive guys being tired on the Wildcat side of the football, and just us not being very effective against the run.
Yes. But I think that also goes hand in hand. I think you look at a lot of these Cats, as we said, it's a hot, humid night. A lot of guys going both ways, especially up front.
Yep. And we talked about some of the size on the Rosemount offensive line. You push that kid around the first quarter, and he's got you in the third.
You read my mind. I was about to go there. Here comes Walker with a burst. Boy, he's going to try, and he's going to stay on his feet down towards the 25-yard line. That's a 12-yard pickup for Walker. I like that kid's first step.
Yeah, he's got a great first step, and the steps that what mattered the most is when he made that second and third contact. Those legs didn't stop, and that's where he got those extra 2-3 yards.
12 yards officially for Walker on that play.
Well, we talked earlier too, Mike, you brought it up. Are they going to dial it down to more of a run game? We're inside of 4.5 minutes here in the third quarter. It's been a quick one. I think that's part of the Irish game plan is to try to keep that clock moving.
Yeah, absolutely. This will be Green. Makes a little move, and then he gets down across the 25. Should be enough to get about a 3-yard pickup. 57 in there for the Wildcats. First time we've called his name tonight, and he's not listed on our roster, of course. I do know Eagan called up quite a few sophomores for this game. So
yeah, you know, it helps them get down there on Friday nights for sure.
Carter, tight formation. Give it to Green. 10-5, touchdown Irish.
Boy, once he cleared the box, there was nobody left. And that's probably a testimony to a couple things. The Cats had a lot of guys kind of pressing the line, but that kid was quick. Once he got into that second tier of tacklers, boom, he was gone.
37-0 Irish. After that initial hit, I'm not sure he didn't get touched. He just sprinted straight ahead.
Good looking run.
Very much so. His second of the night. Whiting for the PAT. Actually, they're changing their kicker. This is Pomeroy into kick this time. Carter, the quarterback, is the holder. Good snap, good set. Kick is up. It is high. It is good. So 3:34 to go in the third. It's now 38-0 Rosemount Irish. Well, the pessimist would say we might get running time in the fourth quarter. But for the Cats, I like the Rosemount student section. If you all get their phones up with the lights, you can see it on the left of your screen.
You can. At first, you know what? This is the old school me. I'm thinking, what do they have over there? Those glow sticks? No. Those are cell phones, and that everyone's got one, so isn't that something?
that is cool.
It is pretty cool.
I was working the Billy Joel concert at Target Field this year.
Okay.
Remember when it used to be lighters you held up?
Absolutely.
Now it still looks weird when it's cell phones doing that.
It's cell phones. That is really something. And boy, now we're starting to date ourselves for sure.
We are.
Lighters in the stands at the concerts.
Oh, yeah.
That's really something.
Yeah.
Again, we're looking for positives here. This Eagan coaching staff's looking for positive. These players are looking for positives. 7-0 in this half. They got to go and drive the ball. That last drive that we had, we actually moved the ball a little bit.
Absolutely.
And we need to see if we can build on that.
I saw that Ryan Woodland was. Yeah, Sundberg was back deep. He's going to go into the end zone, but who's that? Oh, that's Lyons. Okay, it was Lyons and Sundberg. I'm like, Ryan Woodland. We haven't called him all year. He's a senior wideout, wears number 6. But yeah, it was Lyons.
I'll tell you something too. You talk about special teams. That kickoff I mean, the guys that are kicking that football for the Irish, both the point afters and the kickoffs, I mean, you can tell that they are honed. They understand, like all football teams do, but we just want to reiterate, special teams is a huge part of this game.
Absolutely.
At this point, the Irish kind of have it going on.
Right, absolutely. So see if the Cats can get something going here with 3:34 to go. Hansen's still in at quarterback. He's going to look near side. There's a set up a screen. I'm not sure who's in the middle of all that, but they're going to end up losing yardage on that play. Read very well by the Rosemount Irish, and you see all of the white-shirted Irish players in there. I can tell who is that. What Chance on the bottom of the pile it is, and he is down. He has been a workhorse tonight for the Wildcats.
Yeah, you've called his name repeatedly, and on that last play, I mean, it was probably a great call. It was being set up properly, but by the time he took that pass, every white jersey in the box and beyond had just converged on him, and he's going to come off kind of slow.
I think they initially reached for his back. He was kind of reaching for his back again.
Yeah, it looks like he might still be.
Let's hope that's one of those things where you can just get him some fluids.
He
But
probably
again,
got
you know,
wrenched pretty good there.
Yeah.
He was in the middle of a bunch of guys.
Yeah, to put it mildly. Yeah, like you said, a whole host of Rosemount Irish players in there. So second and 10 upcoming for the Wildcats. We have 4 receiver set Hansen has to work with. Near side, and boy, that swing pass has just had no luck at all tonight.
You know, it's a quick hitter. It's got the timing has to be there. You need good hands on the receiving side, but oftentimes, unless you have a receiver to chase off the coverage, you're throwing it in front of 3 tacklers. That one didn't connect. It was just a little led a little bit too far.
Yep.
But the timing was there.
Yep. 3rd and 10 this time for Eagan. Boy, we've said that. It feels like way too much tonight. Hansen, ball's going to be caught out at about the 27. They needed to get across the 30, however. Tower with the reception.
You know, and you can talk about your receivers knowing that yards after catch are kind of scarce, find the sticks, but I don't know that the quarterback always has enough time for the receivers to get to the yard marker.
Yep. And I think we have a penalty on Rosemount as well. I did not see the flag.
I didn't either.
However, the officials were making, let's see what it's all about.
Threw him to the ground when he didn't need to. Well, roughing the passer, 55 of the defense, 15 yards added to the end of the run, 1st down.
There you go, Hosea Scar roughing the passer, so plus 15.
You know, both of our attention, Mike, turned to the pass and the near reception, so we didn't get a chance to see that. But it doesn't matter if you're up 38-0 or not. There's going to come a time for the Rosemount Irish this season when that's going to be a very bad timed penalty.
Absolutely. From the 41, fresh set of downs. And we'll get maybe the 41.5 after that run. Assuming that's Lions coming up off the bottom of the pile, and indeed it is.
Well, a couple of yards there. He kind of snuck past that first tackler, but having had to slow down to make that little wiggle move, a bunch of white jerseys came cruising in.
So we'll give him 1 on that play. 2:25 to go in the 3rd. As Rosemount looks well on their way to improving to 1-2. Cat's going to fall to 0-3. Near side, tripped up at the 45. That was Pomeroy in there for the Rosemount Irish.
Yeah, nice tackle from behind there. That play started off and looked real promising, but as that running back had to slow down to kind of let things develop in front of him, some backside pressure came, lassoed him by the ankles, and down he went.
3rd and 7 upcoming. 1, 2, 3 receivers out there for the Wildcats. Rosemount thinking blitz. They're going to delay a handoff. Lions near side, tries to hop a man, does, crosses midfield.
Let's see what kind of spot we get here,
Yeah, I
Mike.
believe it's going to be enough.
I do too. Not even a generous spot, just a decent spot. That's going to do it. They moved the sticks already.
Love the turf on the helmet.
Yeah, it's nice. It's the only advantage having grass still is that you can get it caught in your face mask.
1st down out to the 45. That was a 7-yard run by Lions.
Same style of play as that last one, but he was able to kind of leapfrog a guy. Things opened up, little momentum, run downhill, 1st down.
Hansen, can he get dropped? No, we've got a late
That could be a face mask.
That's what I'm thinking,
Mike.
too. Going deep. Oh, there was
and
a couple
another
guys.
one.
Yeah,
Wow.
that one's going to be on Rosemount deep for sure.
Boy, a lot of heat for Hansen there when he started the rollout. He got the stiff arm down, but it looked like his head got tugged on a little bit. Could be a face mask, and then a pass interference down on kind of an uncatchable ball.
Yeah, it was. Nick Magnus is the one that nearly had him for the sack. And I believe deep downfield, the interference is going to be on Sullivan Lanou.
Oh, face mask. 14 of the offense.
Oh, Hansen.
Whoa.
Pass interference on the defense. Those penalties offset. Replay first down.
That's a call you do not see very often.
You don't, but I suppose when you get that stiff arm, you put it out there to protect yourself. You don't always know exactly where it's coming. Apparently, it was a tugging penalty if they have the 5-15 differential at this level. So he must have grabbed onto it and given him a little jerk for good measure.
Went final at Lakeville South. They beat Burnsville 9-6.
Wow.
And we've got whistles. Just said Prior Lake lost Eden Prairie 24-0. Yeah, that Eden Prairie, they're still pretty good.
Yeah, they seem to do all right week in and week out.
Cats will be at Prior Lake in 3 weeks. October is that the 6th on a Friday?
1 week shy of our homecoming, the last of our 3-game trip. I believe that is the 6th.
Yep. Well, if you're still with us, we appreciate it. By the way, Twins 3-3 in the 7th. Here we've got 1:11 to go in the 3rd. Another lengthy football game for the Wildcats. Well, when you throw it a lot and they're incomplete, the clock stops. Hansen, Lions, and down to the 46 maybe.
Call it a couple at least.
Yeah, clock will stop again.
Yeah, last week's game ran long too. I remember, Mike, you were calling out finals from all around town, and we were still 5, 6, 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Right. Saw Shakopee was up 17-0 on Eastfield a little bit ago. I think that was early 4th. You said Cats are at Shakopee next Friday night, the 22nd. Hansen's going to air it out. Got a man across the middle. And deep down inside the Rosemount 20. That is going to be number 11, Sundberg, with the reception for the Cats. 31 yards on the pass play for Eagan.
Let's have another look here. He somehow got himself wide open, and he's a sure-handed football player, so there really wasn't a lot of doubt. He stopped up to try to get himself a few extra yards and did just that.
And we've said it all year. Hansen, he throws a nice football.
That was a great pass.
He's going to throw it again. He's going to come near side. There's that little swing pass. There's Lions down to about the 9.
Call it 5 on that one there. Threw a
28
shoulder
on the
out.
stop for the Irish. Keenan Wenzel, we've called his name a few times tonight. They're going to actually spot him at the 8. So we'll give him 7 on that one.
Wow. They can still get a first down here too, Mike.
Yep. See if they run another play before the quarter expires, because we're down 14 and counting. I would think they're going to try and get one off here. They sure look like it. Hansen. Oh, picked off. And that is number 4 for the Rosemount Irish with the pick, Evan Geiwitz.
You know, that the interception, the secondary man came from behind the receiver, and he just jumped the route. He was sitting back. He saw the whole thing develop. The quarterback never saw him. He came out of nowhere with the pick in the end zone and came out.
Let's take a look at that once again on what is the final play of the 3rd quarter. Yep, just a nice play.
Boy. You know, we got a ground level angle on that replay. Had we seen it from where we saw it up here, that pass may have kind of just glanced on its own in a direction that it didn't want to go. Very unfortunate for the Cats. Put a nice drive together to turn it over deep in Irish territory, but the defense has a chance to come up and do something. It's 7-0 in this second half. And again, we talked earlier, of course the Wildcats would love to win this football game, but when you spot a team by virtue of some penalties and the great play of the Irish tonight, 31 points, you think about winning that second half so you can travel for the first of 3 road games next week with something to build on.
By the way, that's the 2nd pick of the night for Geiwitz.
Wow.
And we are going to be in running time because it's a more than 35-point deficit as we start quarter number 4. And it looks like Rosemount's switching up quarterbacks. Going to switch up a lot of guys, I'm going to guess, as we go through the end of this one.
It is one of the other attributes of grass. You can tell when the guys that have not seen the game necessarily yet come in. On turf, you really can't tell so much.
Trevor Armborst in at quarterback. He's a 6'1 sophomore for the Rosemount Irish. By the way, Apple Valley up 43-9 over Jefferson in the third.
Wow.
In Class 5A action. And he's going to keep running the ball. He'll get out near the 20-yard line. So it's out to it's going to be 3rd and about 5, maybe 4, the Rosemount Irish, as they get up at the 20. So the big fullback still in there is 35, Kubitz. He has 1 carry tonight, but he also had a key block. And Rosemount going to go to the air right at the sticks. Couldn't quite hang on.
That ball kind of bounced up on its own. The tackler was kind of preoccupied with making the stop, and had he been able to look up, that ball was just kind of floating there. Looks like the Irish will kick it away. Yep. Another chance for the Cats to come down and tie the game as far as this second half is concerned.
Yeah. And as we said, because of the point differential, the clock will continue to run until the Cats get within 35 points.
One score would do it. And
block punt would be a nice way to start it if you're watching for the Eagan fan.
Absolutely.
Good snap. Good kick. High kick. Caught at the 48-yard line. Fair catch, and that's where the Cats will start with 10-11 to go in this one. So 10-11 to go. Cats down by 38. Should mention, by the way, the theater department at Eagan High School, they're putting on Peter and the Star Catcher this year. It's a Tony Award-winning play based on the novel by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson. This wildly theatrical comedy is a creative prequel to Peter Pan. September 29th and 30th, along in October 6th and 7th here at the EHS Auditorium.
You know, a lot of the high schools around town have great theater programs, but I've been fortunate enough to catch a few here at Eagan in the last few years, and boy, they do a great job.
I will take a theater production at any District 196 high school.
Absolutely.
You know, and you look at something, especially you get to like the encore season with a musical. And
right, yes. Oh, encore's terrific.
I have no idea how you coordinate something like that.
No, I've sat in on the meetings. The guy that's running it, he goes gray in a hurry.
Cats looking, they throw it on first down. And 14 out to 18. That would be Hanson to Woods. And that's going to be a pickup of down to the 43. That's an 9-yard pickup on first down for the Cats. Well, let's see if they can get something punched in.
Again, too, we're seeing the depth on that Irish sideline coming out here in this game that's obviously in favor of the Irish, but the Cats have to look past that.
Absolutely.
And say, you know what, we're out there. These are varsity athletes against varsity athletes, irrespective of whether or not these are starters or not. Move the ball, make stops, play smart football.
Handoff, Lions. Oh, he got hit hard at the line.
Still going.
Yep. Let's see who that was. That was number 46 for Rosemount, putting the pop on him, who is not listed on the Irish roster. Big pop, though, by that kid. And Lyons is going to want a breather after that one. He took a kind of almost like it was helmet to helmet.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of favoring his just a little bit unsnapping. I don't think he's just winded. I think he probably got popped a couple times in there.
Might have been Horton 40 on the head. I thought it was 46, but Hanson going to throw, looking for his tight end across the middle. Dangerous pass. So it's going to be 4th down and less than a yard. The chance, the intended target.
You know, not a bad route, but he just kind of popped it, and it was a little bit of a floater, and in that kind of coverage in the middle of the field, not the velocity that you want to be throwing that football with.
And Cats sure appear that they're going to go for it, and you know what? Why not?
4th and about a foot.
You got nothing to lose here. Hanson, he'll keep. And his second effort, I believe, is going to get there. Depends on the spot, and it's going to be close.
It wasn't a great spot, but if they could measure.
Nope, first down, Eagan, they're going to say.
All right.
Starting to wonder how much of that is they know the score.
I would agree with that. I mean, it was measurable, but I didn't like the spot in the first place. It was just a little shy.
We'll take it. Their neighborhood score, South St. Paul beat Simley 48-7.
My alma mater took a beating.
That's former coach Rick Sutton, part of that Simley staff. Lakeville North, by the way, final 51-0 over Farmington.
I wouldn't be surprised if a flag came out on that one. My apologies.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought so too.
Yeah, he really felt like it looked like the receiver almost kind of got turned a little bit. You look at some fundamental things, and you see the snaps being a little high, and they had that happen last week in a streak of downs, and it just lets the play get off to a less than crisp start.
Yep.
So, again, too, the Cats got nothing to lose here. It's only 2nd and 10, but they're going to go for it irrespective of what the fourth down if it gets to that point.
Second and third effort, get across the 40.
He might get all the way to the stick on that one. Was that Naquande?
Down to the 35. Yeah, I believe it was McClenty. Number 24 there for the Wildcats. Antoine McClenty, 5'10", 204 they list him at for the senior.
McClenty, good run. Tough yards.
He reminds me a lot of what Nkwanta did last year. Kind of that big back. Try to get something going, almost like a fullback position.
Right.
Hanson near side, and that ball is going to be scooped. They're going to give it to him now.
I think they are, actually.
No, I think the back judge said no.
Yeah, he had a better angle on it, probably.
Yeah, I thought it was the right call initially. Like it matters what we think up here in the booth.
Right. We got a good seat, but we're considerably further away than the officials.
Yep.
4th and shortish.
It's 4th and 3. Need to get to the need to get about the 32. Hanson's going to throw, and that ball, no. Could there be a flag? There it is. Yep, interference on the Irish. That was number 20 stepping up for Rosemount. Just a hair early was Kofi Owusu.
You look at the replay.
Take a good look at it right here. Had his left hand up around the neck. Great camera angle there.
Boy, it was a great camera angle. And you say to yourself, oh, well, it's 38-0. But you know what? We talked about it earlier. That penalty is going to come at a time later in the season. And the backhand position on the receiver, the left hand being on the shoulder was unnecessary.
15-yard penalty.
We'll take it. Move
First down.
Absolutely.
We're going to take our last water break.
No, we're not. And we get an official's timeout for a beverage.
Sounds like a plan. We talked earlier about how warm it is. It's got to still be in the upper 70s. It's the humidity that makes it feel a little sticky. It's comfortable. At this time last week, I think I could almost see my breath.
And we talked about the sponsors and the corporate or the businesses that help out Eagan football. Second week in a row, I understand Granite City is where the pregame party is. Cooper's for the postgame party over there on Highway 3.
Spread the wealth. And the thing about Granite City, we'd love to have them step on. I understand they're looking to play a bigger role in supporting Wildcat football, and we'll take all the support we can get, Mike.
We mentioned kind of the Friday night lights. Tonight we're at Dunn Brothers, Maui Wowie. Chick-fil-A was here, and they are opening a new location. It was just off of Yankee Doodle.
Yep.
And Cats going for the end zone. Did he get in? Officials say touchdown Eagan, 6 points Wildcats. With Chance on the reception, and that boy is tired.
Yeah, we've called his name countless times tonight. A well set up play. He had the time, he found the receiver, and made the connection. Kind of threw off that back foot. Another opportunity where you say, hey, he was really wide open. He had 3 guys converging on him.
I don't know how many. He's got to be up to, 7 or 8 catches tonight?
The numbers for him tonight are impressive as the Cats are looking to for the extra points.
There we go. We're going to get Willis in for the PAT. Is on its way. Looks good. And the officials agree. So 5:25 to go in this one. Running time is over. It's now 38-7 for the Rosemount Irish.
You know, that score is still fairly lopsided, Mike, but again, too, 7-7 in the second half. The Wildcats, and I know Coach Hansen's philosophy is we build this a brick at a time. We build this a game at a time. You want to get out of here with a huge positive. After last week's game against South, it started off kind of toe-to-toe. The horse got out of the stable. The score was not quite indicative of the closeness of the game. They had a great week of practice. I anticipate the same this week. If they can just keep a nice even keel and get out of this somewhere in the neighborhood of where they're at now.
I want to finish mentioning who was here for Friday Night Lights. We mentioned Dunn Brothers, Maui Wowie, Chick-fil-A, Red Savoy's Pizza, Wildcats Bar and Grill, and Heaven's Barbecue. Somebody new this year. The Nothing Bunt Cakes, they were here last week. Had to miss this week due to a prior commitment. But my understanding is they'll be back for the final 2 home games this year. That would be October the 13th against Wayzata, and the 18th will be against the Lakeville North Panthers, who pasted Farmington tonight, 51-rip.
You know, the concessions at a lot of these venues, the food is pretty darn good, but the Friday Night Lights gives a whole nother series of options for fans and their dining at the game, but also, too, it shows the community support for these programs across the city and the metro and the state.
Something else I noticed that the Booster Club is putting on, they're putting on a Football Moms Night Out, September 21st at Cooper's. Social hour from 6 to 7, followed by bingo. It says here the Booster Club will provide light apps, and there will also be football-related specials on the menu. Coach Hansen will be there and will answer football questions such as, how do you read the defense? So,
little chalk talk by Coach Hansen.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it says come on out and join the fun. That's Football Moms Night Out at Cooper's on the 21st.
You know, Mike, a lot of these moms have followed their kids at this level since the EAA days. Coach Hansen may field a question or two that he doesn't have an answer for right away. A lot of these moms know their football.
Absolutely. You know, we haven't had a chance to. Usually we mention how the other Eagan teams are doing. We haven't talked about that yet tonight. Volleyball, 8-1, beat Rosemount in 5 sets Thursday night after losing 3-2 to Lakeville South on Tuesday. And this conference is just nuts in volleyball. 5 of the top 8 teams in 3A are South Suburban Conference teams.
That's amazing.
So they swept the Shakopee Invitational last weekend, won 4 games, didn't lose a set. And the one for volleyball fans to mark is October the 3rd in the Wildcat Gym at Lakeville North, who's currently ranked 2nd against the Wildcats, who are currently ranked number 1.
Yep. I was just going to ask you
that'll be a
that.
pack the gym kind of night, I'm sure.
Wow. No, and we all know the amazing run that the volleyball team here at Eagan High School has had over the last 4 years. I think 3 state championships maybe in that 4-year span.
Yep.
Amazing.
Cross country's in the Applejack Invitational Saturday down in Lakeville.
All right.
Eagan boys finished 2nd there last year. Trenton Allen was 5th in that race. Girls soccer is tied for the conference lead with Burnsville and Eastview. They're 6-1 overall. Outscored their opponents 22-3. Wow. And just found this one out there. Junior captain and goalie Megan Pleshko. She's committed to the U of M already.
Wow.
As Rosemount gets out, maybe 3 on that play. And they beat Rosemount 3-1 on Thursday. Boys soccer beat Rosemount 2-0 on Thursday. They've won 3 straight to improve to 5-2. Ryan Erickson's got 4 goals. Jack Tesh, Adrian Morales, 3 apiece. Swimming beat Shakopee here last night on Thursday. By the way, the Rosemount Swimmers, they're a top 10 team again this year. Considered the conference favorite. They were 6th at state last year. And finally, the Eagan tennis team, they have their Wildcat tournament on Saturday here. They're 6-4 on the year. Lauren Ferg is 9-1 in singles. Samantha Nichols is 8-2.
Boy, that's some tough running late in the game. Number 19 for the Irish. Boy, I tell you, you get out there and he maybe haven't had his number called much tonight. Boy, he ran tough on that last play.
And for these kids, it's great. They get the opportunity to get in these games. I mean, they're scout team kids, getting beat up early by the 1s and maybe some of the 2s even at practice.
Sure.
But these are kids, they've got a lot of them have to learn what's Eagan going to run so we can show our defense.
You can talk about underclassmen contributing in a scout team kind of capacity, but football teams with depth, when you have upperclassmen that know that their role isn't to be out there, play in and play out, that's commitment. That's doing it for the love of the game. That's doing it for the love of their programs.
3:40 to go in this one, and we're still running time. I'm not sure why. But okay, maybe it's 30 points is the number. I thought it was 35. whatever. We'll take it.
I was just going to comment on the fact that, hey, I thought we were out of running time.
Yeah.
But you're probably right. It could be 30.
By the way, history is now over. The Cleveland Indians just lost tonight. 22 in a row for the Tribe.
Wow.
So, yeah, not too shabby, is it?
Not too shabby at all.
Run right up the middle. This will be 4 more yards for the Irish as they just continue to pound it out. Number 10 there for Rosemount, the ball carrier that time. That is Shaquem Kelly, 5'5", 135. I saw him during warm-ups, and I got to admit, it was, stereotyping. I thought he's got to be the kicker, right?
Sure.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, he's not the biggest kid on the team, is he? Now, if he runs behind that BYU commit,
oh my gosh,
that would be you would hide him. It'd be like the eclipse.
Yeah.
Real tight formation for the Irish here as we're getting close to 2 minutes.
Yeah, this will be 3rd and 6. Going to throw, and they're going to be incomplete once again. I believe the Irish are now 0 for 3 this quarter in passing. And, yeah, they officially are.
I've seen that more and more as I pay a little bit more attention and watch more games. The quarterbacks rolling away from their throwing hand. And it seems so unconventional, difficult to throw across the body and so on and so forth. But you see it over and over.
Absolutely. So it's going to be 4th and 6 for the Irish as we're inside 2 minutes to go in this one. Looks like back to punt will be Sullivan Lanou. As we said, Rosemount, they will return home for a Saturday night special, 5 p.m. start on the 23rd against Farmington. Part of that big centennial celebration for Rosemount High School. And then they've got Eastview the week after that. The Wildcats, as we said, a 3-game trip, starts in Shakopee, goes to Farmington on the 29th, and there's one more stop in Prior Lake for their home for Wayzata and Lakeville North. And do we have a timeout on the field? No, we have a delay of game against the Irish.
The offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Heading into practice this week, all things considered, I don't think that the Wildcat coaching staff really has to try that hard to find positives here.
Right.
I just don't think you can take away turnover, a block kick, of the fumble, the 15 yards, some of the unfortunate things. They've got work to do, though. There's no doubt about that as they hit the road for 3.
And you look at those 3 opponents, and none of those. I mean, you don't have odds in high school football, but the Cats are going to be underdogs in each of those games.
Absolutely, no. Just based on a number of factors.
Oh, nice rush by Eagan.
There you go.
They got it that time. There we go. Inside a minute to go. There's a positive. You were just talking about
Absolutely. You have to look, but you don't have to look hard sometimes. Let's see where that pressure came from.
Let's see, it was Aiden Schmidt is 45. And
wow.
It might have been 13 there. Cole Sackmaster might have actually been the one that got his left hand up. Actually,
he might have kicked it right into his own player. But when you have a strong enough push up the middle that you take a blocker with you, that's still good special teams.
Yep. So 57.9, 38-7.
Let's see what they got in the playbook. Now, we talked earlier, Mike, I don't know if we necessarily envisioned the possibility of winning the second half, but right now it's our call if we want to do it.
That'd be a tie, 7-7. Yeah.
Tied up right now.
Yeah. Is he going to go deep with he rolls, throws, and that'll hit the track.
Right. Here's the problem with that. We are in running time, so you can't even spike the ball. You got to hustle back to the line.
Yep.
As it ticks down around 40 seconds. I don't think there's – you take 3 quick shots. You call 3 plays, and you run them.
Pretty much. And so we're down to 30, what could be the final one tonight.
Willis has got some leg. I don't know if he's got 55 or 6 in him, but, he could give it a whirl.
No. So, again, we want to thank everybody that checked us out tonight on the World Wide Web, and those of you watching us on ETV at some point. Maybe even check out the YouTube channel. I know our games are up there now, so unfortunately it's going to be a rough night for the home team as they are going to fall to the Rosemount Irish by a count of 38-7. So, Ken, final thoughts as we wrap this one up here in Wildcat Country.
Well, again, too, it gets out of hand in a hurry. You want to strike early and you want to keep the momentum going. But congratulations to the Irish on a fairly well-played game.
Yeah, one they definitely needed and they definitely got. And for the Cats, it's rebuild. Well, not rebuild, but refocus and get ready for Shakopee.
Nice job tonight, Mike.
Good job by everybody on the ETV crew. So that's going to wrap it up here in Wildcat Country. He's Ken. I'm Mike. Down here is Evan, our stat guy. We're going to say thank you on behalf of the entire ETV crew. And we'll see you next time for Wildcat Football on ETV.